ha gachara ọkụ mana Sandhurst, mana India, mana Ethiopia. The places that educate her that time, Sandhurst, India, Ethiopia. Then staff college, American went to staff college that time. Sandhurst, India, Ethiopia, some other place. Then in the 70s, they sent her to Russia. So now I send this to China. Now, only ọbụla dị ike ga join the military. That is my own. If you can stand the rigors of training, stand the rigors of selection, please, it is highly encouraged. Because the truth about it is, akwa onwe one Igbo jele the other day. N'ime ụlọ ya ka ọ na-alarụ tank si na roof dagbue. Onwe ebe ọ dị guaranteed n'ịmanwụ. Onwebody guaranteed in the man. And I didn't want to touch on IPOB, but let me even say it and say it out loud. If IPOB was manned by people that had military training, proper military training, we wouldn't have issues with parts of IPOB and IPOB being now complicit in kidnapping, ritual killing, organ harvesting. Nothing beats the catering, the regimentation that military gives you. Yes. And what do you get beat with that regimentation, that understanding that, look, the man standing next to you is more of your brother than knowing Kegini has enough for help. We need that level of understanding amongst ourselves that now we need to get our boys in the military. It is a no-brainer in short, to say the least. I hear the mic.
Okay. Thank you for perspective. I don't know. Obiago, you said you want to ask. Is your turn? Do you want to ask Anambra first on the question?
Okay. Ndubisi. Good evening. Anambra first on. Good evening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Anambra first on. Please. I just want to ask some simple question before I will make my contribution. I won't take time. First is, how do we get our people to join, those that are interested? Because I have someone already. I had to save that poster that you posted, I think last week, the first day you made that post, and sent it to a group. One of them chatted me privately, like, how do I join them? And he's not in Nigeria, he's in Ghana, but he's willing to come down. Another person also indicated interest. So how do I, you need to guide me on what they will do, knowing the difficulties in trying to apply and also making it possible. I've listened to all the contributions we made here, and we all know the challenges we'll be having for ages. Everybody, it's not something I'll still go back again, but mine is joining military now, to me, has to be something that you're passionate for. You're willing to sacrifice all.
So, Obego, let me respond before you go ahead, please. Please, if you know, Obegu, are you aware of the military guys that were deployed in your village at some point? Are you aware of them?
Yes.
What happened at later? What later happened? They left, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes. They will come and go.
Yes.
Like that.
But the first one they brought, they left.
Yes.
That's what I learned. They left. And the governor had to go and beg the GOC, now you no redeploy Faju. You know, that's actually the background story of that. But anyway, I just wanted to let people know again. Obego that is speaking here is from Ihamufu, where this crisis is happening. So, and in the village, Bane could self and the village the Kahana Bakunyelunda. You got to go. Because in the Befa, or is
I'm not getting. Just finish what you're saying. Let me get to it.
Yes.
Well,
What I'm saying is that some of your people, according to what I heard, in fact, I be the military accused na fan so we na emefe na emefa. You got to go. Maybe they refusing to treat the other end. You got to go. You might be. So, but the point in they make it, bona. Obona nda niile bụ ndị be anyị nke bụ eziokwu bụ ọ gaghị adị anyị etu a maka na ha ga-etinye anya na mmiri wee nyopụte wee mee ihe ekwesịrị ime amami na whatever na-ekwu. So, but this is one of the cases ndị be anyị kwesịrị na-ege ntị. We should be paying attention to all these details. This is one of the cases a na-enwe. Because ọ bụrụ na ebe a enwe ka isi enwe contact in the military, mụ enwe ha contact unless my uncle, I will speak to him anyway. I'll find a way to speak to him. But if you have anybody that you know that can help, because agwea kebido kita na we malefan egemia. So dalu obuni send him DM because men can ko dimfe. All right, Obiagu, go ahead.
Obiago, unmute your mic. I muted you. Try to unmute your mic. I know you don't. Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Anambra first son, I heard you. In my mom, I told me that I don't want to delve into our own personal matter based on him. I just can make a request. You know, when did interested na register mokwane bayanami. Mum already agwago ha. Only all are interested. Only all are passionate. The willing. Join. Ya forget kwa because Ilaya na buying ile. Ibiano now. Anambra first son. At least ibiara ebo. Iruterebo, right? Hello?
Yes.
And so if we go on how large Ebo is, among Megari, Ebo is a very large community. The whole of Ebo Hebata, nga wagging off so of Onyami behind with another place. And to Onyaho, or one Okano is Guanami Opugo, due to that time of Buhari issue, whatever. So the guy now goes to Ekoataram natural native hebe hangwaga so nyanwa lecha anya wee pụọ due to ha banye mmụọ ha na ha support ha nye ha ụmụ ihe ha kwesịrị so nyanwa sị mba na ọ bụrụ ihe anyanwa pụọ. So to cut the story short, ndị be anyị nọrọ ebe ahụ atọ then ihe anyị chọrọ ikwute small nke ahụ ọ bụrụ akọ ngabịa kọwa ebe a ọ bụrụ akọ ngabịa kọwa ọ bụrụ maka ndị be anyị ịbịa nabata ha nwa onwe problem ha nwa nwere ọ bụ internal problem kita as at 2024 agwago ha bata ha bịa nọrọ ha bịa rụọ ọrụ ha so a na-eme ka ha si adọgasị up and down which mụnwa nwede at least I have more little information on what happened but ọ bụrụ ihe anyị bịara ịkpa kịta so ihe mụnwa na-achọ anywhere onye ọbụla nwere info contact ndị army gbagotere ọkwa ha gbagotere ga-enye ndị banye aka ka ha banye. I have boys, at least 2 to 3 boys who are willing to enter, like ihe ikpuru Anambra first son ọ bụ na onye be anyị na ebe ahụ nwere information anyị maka anyị ga-esi gaa at least arụ ọhịa ga-arụ ndị ọkwa mgburu esi ebe ha nọ wee pụọ but ma ndị niile na-abịa ebe ahụ stranger so ha bịakwa ma nke ewu eziokwu ma nke ewuru eziokwu emekwa ma nke gọọmenti na-eme ma nke gọọmenti na everything together our people at the end of the day awụrụ ndị ga-ata afọ ya at a point anyị nwa na-ajụzi ọnụ nwere onye ebe anyị ga-enyetụrụ anyị aka as onye amị ka anyị mee ha o nwere ọnụ onye anyị nwere onye amị at least 4 people as 4 people or 2 gbagotere gekwu okwu at least anyị handle ihe a amahụ the problem but ọ bụrụ ha m ga-abịa kọwa kịta so anybody ga-enye aka ya anyụ aka ka make sure that at least our people another part of Enugu ọ bụrụ so ha mụfuo many part of communities in Enugu enwere ndị amị atọ so enidiri ọ bụ na ya onye amị wetara dị onye isi ndị amị wetara na be anyị no as in o nwere that opportunity help anyị nwa because the problem remains ihe kwechegoro ebe opportunity
ndị be anyị a ga-ekwekwe ka ha banye. At least enwe my neighbor try go the thing for 5 times. Eligo the guy 530,000 ka ọ banye. Ọ banyeghị till today. Ọfọbike abanyeghị. Ọfọbike till today si no ihe ya nwa ga no passion ya na ya chọrọ ịbanye amị. Onwe ihe akọtara ka iwepụ the interest. So a lot of people, but imagon agbaricha up and down, try it or walk like that. So our nagam enyaka like that, it can it will be very nice. And don't worry how you could take again, Ogin before you went offline. My own is I'm na Nigeria and in Sebu where I'm na easy can we by any army. But then ndị buying nwetegoro high rank nko. Can you hear what they are saying? Apart from onye abịara kita si na na-ayọ ndị Igbo ka ha banye, how many of them abịago yọ ndị Igbo? Mokwan nwe forum, create a forum, the whole 5 eastern states ka ndị banye. Ihe ka a kwesịrị ebido na-eme kita, create a forum ka na-eme orientation, na-create more awareness, lekwe the impact, lekwe the effect of anyị miss the opportunity. In a quarter ndị mad like that. Any other person be hajat or you become confused your hand that okay, look at it. Yes, we are aware that a lot of people, so many injustice, so many marginalization, I want suffer group. But then at the end of the day, we should not leave it because when they were army training, when army training make a man of an imami. The difference is always there. The difference is always clear between you and them. So this year I won't people. We go to high rank. Mande no mande pugo need to help or can they buy and make we encourage. Like I said before, Mikita due to the injustice, marginalization, and the poor treatment in that they receive, it will take somebody that is passionate to sacrifice his life, ready to go without looking back before you have. Otherwise, so many things in the Madifugoro game. So that is what so let me contribute. Yeah, NDBC, thank you.
Okay, I think Anambra first one got what you said, and I thought that I think I tweeted that, and the form is free actually. Is a free form. You know the funniest thing about this thing, they started making it free for people. Back then 2015, 2014, it was like 1,000 naira. I know that before it was like 5,000. They reduced it to 1,000 because they wanted people to join. Now it's free. And why now? That is what everybody have been asking. And it's not as if we don't want to join Igbo Prosperity Anambra first one. It's not as if Igbo don't want to join. But why now? Why now? So that is just the concern, and we really need to clear that aspect because it's some kind of trickish in it. Yeah.
Can I answer that question?
Even as free as the form is, although as it is now, as free as it is, when they do it buying, but although it is with free like that.
Can I say something?
You can. Right before we go to is it Kenny? Yeah.
The answer to that why now is why not now? The best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The best time to plant it is now. The question is why not now? You get what I'm saying? Why not now? We want, the overarching desire, the overarching vision, the hope of everybody is to have a working society. And if that working society is either within the context of the working Nigeria or within the context of an Igbo homeland, a distant Igbo homeland, be it by their regional system or an independent country itself, as the case may be, that's the overarching decision, the overarching dream, something that works for everybody. And as it stands right now, everything is not working. Be it the Nigeria, or be it the Alibo, as the case may be. So nothing beats you going into the military to get that training. From that first 21 day uh, regimental training to the specialized trainings you get being in the military, nothing beats it. You have not given me a reason why not. You have not given me a reason why not. Because as far as the truth is concerned, it is the best training that I have seen in a long while. There's no two ways about it. It's the best training I have seen in a very long while. Sorry, this, my bag. My bag is
Okay. Um.
in
Okay,
a long
Kenny.
while.
Oh, 1 second, please. Just one.
Okay, Igbo process you. We can't hear you anymore. Okay, Kenny, say 1 second. Should we move? We need to move the mic then. 4th of July.
No, you were talking. You said Kenny, so that's why I stopped talking. It's not like
Okay. I thought
I don't
you
like.
have stopped. We couldn't hear you anymore. That was why.
No, I hadn't finished. I hadn't
Okay, fine.
finished.
Continue.
The truth about it is,
Yeah.
why not now? When else? If not now, when? If not now, when? So what if we lose this opportunity? We'll come back in the next 5 years and say, oh, why now? 10 years from now, we'll still say why now. There's never a a better time to start than now. As far as the truth is concerned, there's never a better time to start than now. So let's start. No matter how small, if we can put 10 extra people in the military, 20 extra people, I think it's a good decision. In my own opinion. In my opinion, 10 people, 20 people, no problem. Let's start. One day we will look back at this day and we understand that we had the opportunity to
Okay,
change the trajectory of a whole lot of things.
I think it would be nice if we can get the past data of southeastern people that have registered in the military and the numbers of people that they have taken. And I think that would be nice for us to, because you see, a lot of us believe that it's not as if Igbos are not applying for this military of a thing, but they are not giving it to us. So how will you clear that thought aside now? How are you going to clear it? Because we are talking about why now precisely.
So let me answer that question for you. For every, it depends on which branch of the military. There are some branches of the military that has a fail rate of 80%. There are some branches of
we
the
are struggling to
military.
hear you. We are struggling to hear you actually.
Can you hear me now?
We're struggling to hear you.
Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Hello?
can hear you now.
See, it depends on which branch of the military you want to join. For every test, there will be people that will pass and there are people that will fail. Which boils down back to what I said earlier on. If we had people that were in the military that will come and start training our boys on the things they need to pass to get into the military, we'll have higher pass rates. The major thing that fails our people is physical training. That you need to do how many press ups, how many sit ups, how many kilometer run in record time. Those are where that is where we majorly fail. And I said it before that the way Nigerian military is structured, I tell you because I have experience in it. The way Nigerian military is structured, they pass your physical, that class work. You graduate in Nigerian NDA. Go and ask anybody. It is very good na physical. Now, man, if I pass fail. If pass that some, you fail those some na NDA. You go graduate, you go be officer. Because the Nigerian military is structured in such a way that they still value physical exertion more than mental exertion.
I
Your
I
parents
don't
are there.
believe that. You don't know why. You see, wait, like I need to bring
hold
someone that
on.
went to.
Ndubisi,
Okay.
I will give you number. I will give you number of somebody. You go call him. He go tell you.
But
You
no,
get the number.
I know someone from my village that went to this military training. He when they were doing their
That's
marathon
where.
race, he came first. But the physical, he passed the physical very well, and they didn't take him. That was far back as 2000 and will I say 12 or when, you know.
Now let me bring you just second part of military is the military politics involved. So my friend that served Nigerian army, even in Baka, for him to get his officer training, he had to go and meet his senator, which is why I pointed out earlier on. Political leadership now. I need to get up. I need to get off this call for a bit. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, fine.
Sorry for cutting in. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, Nkechi, I can hear you.
Because I've been talking since it's like nobody could hear me. Madam Boge, my turn, please. I've
You are
been here
not
for a
even
while.
in the. You just came up. You are not even in the speaker section.
Really? I've been on the speaker session for over an hour.
I just saw you appear. I don't even know how you came up, but I just saw you appear here now.
Okay. I've been here for over an hour. So I was just waiting for my turn. And I've been talking, but you people couldn't hear me. I had to go out and go in another phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Then we can move to 4th of July.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So, yeah, such an interesting topic, which, I thought I should chip in my 2 cents. So originally, I'm from the same. In fact, I would be able to call Ihe Jirika my uncle, call Ndubisi Kanu my uncle, Ike as well. I can comfortably say that these people are my uncles. So that will tell you where I'm from, So there's a lot of my people as well who were helped into the military. And because of Ndubisi Kanu and co, a lot of our people, they interested in Eba military. So it's something we through a little knowledge about. And my elder brother, Nketom Maduwetom, as well, the Obara military, Osi secondary school, Puta, Okweroni Agaga University. He was fascinated about being a military, Oba military. But unfortunately, he didn't stay. I think he didn't last over 10 years. He had to come out. And up to today, Okanewe PTSD because of the things that he said, Ogabigara, which he hasn't even been able to talk about, sort of to anyone. So Weburia, why I'm going into this sort of history is just to be able to lay a background before I start making my submission. At the end of the day, it's a very good thing. Nigerian army, Nandi would know everywhere. Good positions and niga hu ndi onu na erunoku. But that would be in a perfect scenario, which unfortunately we are not in a country things in aga like that. And we're a lot of Igbo people, like a lot of people have also said here, they interested na IBA, the Nigerian military. But we also have to acknowledge that na Abiana, the way Nigeria is structured for now, the Igbo person were a lot of disadvantage. And that disadvantage is also what is reflecting that Abiazi now, and as Nana chosen the Igbo acho. na Nigerian military. Otu esikwa achọ anyị achọ na Nigerian military, ka esi achọ anyị achọ na NNPC, ka esi achọ anyị achọ na CBN, ka esi achọ anyị achọ na abịagasịa na ụfọdụ kedu ihe a na-akpọzi organizations n'Igbo, I forgot. Organizations, you know, a gasị na ndị nwegasịrị isi na obodo ahụ bụ Nigeria, because why? Ndị Igbo nwere limited, you know, advantage or limited opportunities to get into these places. Oge Uche na-ekwu okwu, ege m ọfụma ihe okwu, ihe niile o kwuru, okwu ya kwụ ọtọ ka siga, but o nwekwu o kwuru wee na-asị, I mean, I'm paraphrasing now, you know, na ndị be anyị anara, some ndị be anyị anara eme ihe asị ha mee, ọ na ha emetaghị ọfụma, ọkwa na ndị obodo ndị side ọzọ na-aka meta ka anyị nwa, mụ nwee kwetara na nke anwa, because ọ bụrụ mana ndị Igbo adịrọ interested ịbanye amị, ọ na ha anara show interest, ọ na ha draw as versatile as other people, you know, or na ha anara emeta ihe ibe ha na-eme ka ha nwee ike inwe some of the positions that we are now wishing that we have. But also for that issue of Nigeria, ọ dịka onwe nwanne anyị nwoke amara m Igbo ka nna afọ, ọ dịka ya kwuru okwu just now before me.
Igbo perspective, Nkechi.
Yeah.
Nkechi, bike weniwe.
Nsogbu adịrọ.
Ọ bụrụ etu ahụ isi kwue ka nsi kwue, mana ị nwetatara mana nwetachara ya.
Okay.
Ife na-ekwu bụ na abịa n'ihe dị na enrollment na any federal agencies, ndị anyị na-afa gbara bụ nọ n'ugwu na dị more strategic. Look at what they do. Etu a nọ kịta na-enwe opportunity anywhere. Fanwelu office na source for that information. 2020, one of the meetings one of the things I recommended, that office will just specifically to scout for available opportunities, scholarship, name it, anything. So that office, yeah, on anything, it relayed information, right? For example, Obono speaker House of Rep, then the House of Rep, because the information is that these people, the people they patronize this KPMG and the rest, these top big four in Nigeria with Northerners. Or Northerners, you know, if you speak to people on a corporate sector, they will tell you this. So arrange somebody, the very advanced with that institution, prepare templates on your use. Right? Okay. And that template got more advanced. So unlike in the bani, on your bana be on menkia. You got to go. Manandika, they were much more strategic and sophisticated approach led by their leader.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for especially Makandina Noreba Mbikuroku before Kahamwike Wata ABC Webia. So thank you for that. Our Takwa maybe Sinabia, and that's I was going to get to that because you've talked a lot about strategy this evening, you know, and I don't think we can make any headway without it. But more Akwana Choka Onyobna Matakwana Bro Nandibaya Anarego interest. I'm going to Korea before me. Anarego interest na Inweta Ibagasina. All these positions. And we'll get a lot of people change after her to after Hausa. Kahanwike banye kwa mi anuani kuokya. Kahanwike banye custom. Kahanwike banye kedima immigration and stuff like that. They had to change their name. Mwandi change their religion. Just kahanwike we banye na those positions because nahamana and then. Our brother Igbo perspective say no na idimma na Igbo also the physical part of the examination and you're not good with the mental part of it, you'll be able to get in. I can tell you here now, makandugu keji that if I law because now that intellectually they won't do well. Come on, how we kid the man at the physical one. And that is why I'm sure you mentioned it. Not some of them, most of them now abanye true that means. So situation which I'm sure we would all acknowledge. Somebody here had spoken and even traced it back to as far back as I think 1966. this structure bido where they were disfavorable for Ndi Igbo. But then I'll get back to what Uche have been hammering since evening, which is the issue of a strategy. Mụnwa kwadoro ọ bụrụ na anyị ga-apụta kịta dị intentional nwee a strategic plan a ga-eji wee tinyegasịa ndị be anyị n'ọnọdụ especially na amị anụnwa na custom, immigration, all these places anyị na-alike ndị be anyị enwe strategy a ga-eji mee but ọ bụkwa nọ otu obodo a bụ Nigeria si wee dị kịta, trust me, it's not that people are not interested in getting in, but they are not just getting the opportunity to get in. But then we be strategic about it, that is going to work at the end of the day. More support on Kanwa because now I need in the bani, at least for now, whatever side of the divide that you are, I can in Nigerians. We all carry Nigerian passport wherever we go, whatever we do. So, and we have to benefit from that country, Nigeria, especially because Igbos have made a lot of sacrifices, and Igbos so it is not fair that we intentionally deny ourselves things that we can get out of the country. But all the frustration and the Banyufugo. Now, some of these things. Sweet Angel told her own story. Otunya was wechi by Navy as a child. So there's so many stories like that. Probably in every family. Even my brother and Ketom direct NDA because now I don't know military is like a thing because obviously we have like 3 big names in the military. So a lot of young people, a lot of young men grew up. Even more, I didn't try, but I so much admired my elder brother and his uniform when he was there. So I think even just recently military, which we know where that was coming from, but it's not a situation that Igbos intentionally thought, oh no, we're not going to be part of the Nigerian military. I honestly don't believe that, and I don't see why that would be. But people have made efforts but got a lot disadvantage. And finally, I will bring it back to our political leaders, Naliwo, the political class and our opinion leaders. I know a lot has also been said about it tonight. Amarom, how I keep going back to this, how we can engage these people, because it's obvious that now, and we're any kind of synergy, not between them, not between us and them or anything. Only just name history and almost something they could probably almost every day. Ndi will be a dizaka when bono onye na ekutere anyo onye na echere anyo just to know ikeketorie, and that is why at the end of the day we still come back to this table to talk about these things, because anyo that mouthpiece or somebody care enough, say, okay, let me go and get it. And come see on make sure na inwetaria. Come yourself. Onye obuna ima anazu watching kete. That is why Odizaka gasnanye so niha neme. Ndi Igbo na go other countries na other places, by military, by heni na baba, and they do well. So, as now, Pobodon Kanyi Bozi Nigeria, Kaga Sizi, and Andy Wadro interested in military. No, they are interested, but the country has been structured against them in so many ways. Some people may want to argue that, but that would be an argument for another day. So, moving forward, Obru Nawe, any strategic plan. Again, when Modiko Obago, no name mentioned, young way 2 people interested and all that. And I'm sure that other people again yes, na ha choreba or na ha onye choreba and all that. Abu no mo try getting way that movement, that strategic plan bu ihe bia makiana bania. Aga si okay, no to aka get possibly now Bugodi from today, because that's no sita dimman obubo from today can we change in Kegabona by this employment call now by the next recruitment call, this recruitment and when Diaga Atoaka yes that we were able to get I don't know what the quota is, but we were able to get 20 people, 25 people, 10 people or whatever in a certain one gradually, then a broker also army, because Obros army kaicho. We need to get into other positions. Anyway, so that's it really. Thank you. Andy, thank you so much for hosting the space.
Okay, thank you, Nkechi first. Anambra, Uche, are you here if you want to respond?
Yeah, I'm talking to Uche Ajuju. If
No, I don't want to respond.
Okay.
Okay, let me respond. Let me ask. Get your question, Kenny.
okay, yeah. So the first question about this group in a where who takes care of them financially? Egi Jisifa Jiwelo Aga Bambo and make sure na their clients ball into whatever any area for kafalo wall. Who takes care of them financially? Because from your submission, it looks like Nafade heavily funded Ijuena are complete their their even
Kenny
finance.
Kumaka, because when you were
And when this and when down they meet now partner help like package the people in whatever.
Okay. Kedifa na for Big Four. Ndị nọ na corporate sector ga-ama ife na-ekwu. Price Water, Kedifa na ndị nke KPMG, HFGO Mafafa right now, but they are called Big Four. If you are in accounting, you understand what I mean. Ndị a bụ ndị na according to Yen Watalu from information. In fact, I got it from different places, but onye nke na-agwa m ya na-arụkwa na KPMG. Also, since Ojualuban at this KPMG, na ndị na-patronize fa more. Na in fact, na olubero ndị Igbo ọlụ. Na ndị Igbo emebero si na onye Igbo bịalụ na their distance na onye there something. No, ndị ugwu. You got to go. So that is what and they have him and family structure, family leadership structure, from the emir to Kedifan, religious leader, family that structure. And we're ọtụtụ ndị Igbo be anyị that cannot come out and say this person is a leader. You got to go. We don't even regard a lot of our leaders our leader, and we don't call them that same quote unquote respect. Oga Ferrana, community, maybe local government, so in Weronya Ega, but Nanya Ketana Sina, or Nyagabu, our leader that can be able to take this type of lead. Then, and when he Potalono, 2020, I don't know if anybody who was active on Twitter in 2020 when we had Ali Igbo initiative. One of the things I used to suggest in some of these meetings, Buna, can something similar to this, something like a post like an office or something, gas station in these 5 eastern states, and when somebody got there, only able no find out any opportunity one that somebody not at the state can be able to take advantage of. Then what I'm going with there, and when that get take it to pass it to that be able to look at it. Or if I get a proposition, or I get a lobby, or that kind of thing. So
Yeah, but at the end of the day, farming these people here lower distance. At the end of the day, if I are attached to with the source from the government or with some government assistance, empower.
And they use, like I said, family leadership structure, and I'm sure that they also have their funding too. But I can't tell you to fast here. But if I'm not working out, be fene me. Enwere anọrụ pụtalụnụ, enwere anọ ife pụtalụnụ, fana ebuze enwedị for me. Mana, ọ bụrụ na i check here, enwe most of these programs are na-eme. You watch and ha na-enwe higher number of applicants. For example, nke this kedifa na-akpịa school loan, student loan. You check the distance, ha na-enwe higher number of application. Now, ị na-ajụ onwe gị ọrụzi ndị ugwu a na-enwe lower cut-off mark. You got to go. But that's not how they would. They have machinery that deals with this thing. Standby. They're not by on the individual level.
Another person. Another person.
Yeah,
Hello. Another person. I think what speaking. Oh, hello. Can I chip into what another person is saying?
Sure, but maybe I have to finish
to
using
do
my
my
submission.
submission.
I don't know. But I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing my own. I'm a man can be audible
If you
to
mute
this.
your mic, you will no longer hear yourself. Well, go ahead and chip in.
Okay, Kenny, you said you want to finish your submission. You can.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So anyway, yeah, Uchabumijugi Maka, this quarter and with maka ndị graduates Ibana military. I think it's done by quarterly by anemia state by state. I think so. And allocate how many number of people naba from state to state when it comes to graduates Iba into military because when I climb when I post faster. Overall, I think Uche, the effort ị na-eme ekewo anyị nwe ịkwụsị onye ọbụla nọ n'ime anyị ịkwụsị ị na-discourage maybe anybody or may affect our discouragement about military. I think that's the most I nwe ike ime, not to discourage people and maybe to promote as much as we can. But when it comes to na government is anyị nwere ebe aka anyị dị anyị si ka anyị gbakwulu ndị gọvanọ anyị ifugo dịka ndị ala anyị nwechara as gọvanọ esi ka ịgbakwulu ndị senators ọrụ the same thing other regions na-eme or without ndị bebe bịa, but they are intentional. They are very, very intentional, and at some point, I would say even do very tribally intentional. And if one name, man, can do by, but I can to no. But I think the most we can do based on even and even I will sum it up by saying even I suggest I will say the discouragement. Obugori not one person can discourage, can work like that. That is one. Yes, I agree with the submission. Everybody has already said my mind. And US, Pennsylvania, one of the places in the military buying, I've been training a lot. Call out to if in Greenville, a whole bunch of places, Fanabi, and I've gotten opportunity with many of them. I can tell you, I think 2 times Kamfugolo Ndibo, Fanabia this 2 weeks training, now back and forth. And it's now funny because I barely seen Dubai now that training, and these are sophisticated training. My younger brother was able to in a navy. May another advantage in a military, I'm open way graduate. I think it helps it even better because it's easy to climb up, it's easy to get into many programs. Anyhow, so that's another advantage in my program. My younger brother was able to finish aircraft engineer while in the military. Although 10 years, Ojinwa Chinyelufa boot. Jewe country soli agalwalo onwe because it's a very lucrative job. So the phone na chiba or achoriba to encourage you think about it. If you're a graduate iba na military, this can help you to scale up your education very, very fast. With the opportunity travel many countries to train for one educational sector, to boost your career. So that's also a very big advantage. Speaking on advantage, my younger brother that has gotten from the Navy so far, it was very fast, and 10 years. I think 10 years here with this year, not I think. And once you finish your 10 years, you are ready to resign out of the army and get all your entitlements and move on with your life on whatever career that you have gained experience in. So let's have that in mind. Minor Bahu military, that is also there's a greater advantage even in advancing your career in the future. I thank you, Anambra first. I yield the mic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kenny. Enwere eventually enwere aka eventually ibubalụ ndị be anyị kịta na mana mgbuwa dị aka ha nwere ike ụfọdụ ya ma nkwete. Ị ma na abịa na aviation, aviation as a sector, ndị be anyị nọrọ na ya. Ọpọnọ ndị be anyị nwelu most lucrative, most viable, airline. Mana abịa na ụmụ ife dị n'ọlụ aka na ụmụ ihe a na-alụgasị na aviation. Ịchọgide ndị be anyị nọ na ya. The same thing with maritime. Enwere onye nwoke nọ na maritime, every time ọ na-ayọ m uche biko kwuwe maka maritime, and the buy should put interest. Na enwere a lot of opportunities ndị be anyị they take advantage of. Ọ dịkwa ka ihe na-eme kịta maka gas. gas a na-ewu ndị be anyị n'onye nọ na ya mmadụ n'onye nọ na ya nke bụ eziokwu bụ na enwere ihe ọ na-abụ anyị na-eme sometimes ọ dịka anyị tụrụ onwe anyị n'oche anyị nwa na-achụ onwe anyị n'oche ọ bụrụ mmadụ na-achụ anyị ọ bụrụ na na-enwebero because ihe na-eme ndị be anyị bụ ebe ọ bụ na onye Igbo gara mee ọfụma ka ndị be anyị na-ene anya nke ahụ onye Igbo anọrọ na ya ma ọ ha nọgide ha na-ere eme ọfụma ndị Igbo ga-afụ ya asị ihe ha mara anyị. Pay attention to what I'm saying. It is cultural. All the very cultural. That's why ịbịa n'ala Igbo obodo ọbụla nọ n'ala Igbo nwere ife eji malụfa, and that na-eji malụfa abroad that na-ata their umbilical cord to it. All because na ha afụgo Mr. Okeke na-eme ya, Mr. Okeke mee ya dị successful, onye ọbụla nọ n'ebe anwa awụjuo na ya, onye ọbụla nọ na that community enwe onye ọzọ nọ na community a pụtalụ chọọ ime ife ọzọ asị ya ndị be ya na-emekwe nke ahụ. Ọ dị n'egwu, ọ dị na ịzụ afịa, ọ dị na ịgụ akwụkwọ. Ihe afụ mmadụ amepe ọnụ sị gị na ndị be ya dị agụ akwụkwọ amara anyị jeje zụba afịa ibe gị n'azụ, then ịbatakwa n'ime afịa ahụ enwere specific area anyị asị gị na ndị be anyị ka ọ mara. Ọ bụrụ na ndị na-azụ abada asị gị ọsọsọ abada ka malụfa. So our people have that mindset till date. So enwere sector ya abụ ịga na ya asị gị ndị be anyị ọmarọfa. Onye Igbo mepere ọnụ sị na ndị be anyị ịgụ egwu amarọfa na igwu egwu ha mara agụ egwu na Igbo amara that mago na-akọgheri because na ndị be anyị represent bro as they should. So this is actually a mindset problem. Ọ bụrụ sọsọ military maka na ndị be anyị na-ekwu ife a na-efiru na because of na enwere issue with ESN. Nke bụ eziokwu wee ebe ka ọ nọ na aviation kedu enwere tribalism nọ na ya? Enwekwa tribalism nọ na nke ahụ. Enwe ya na ọkwe na ya cha maritime
uche ọ dịkwa na Navy ebe because mụ na nwanne m nwoke kwukwu eziokwu achọrọ m because the more m kwuru more stuff the more I achụ.
Ị na-ekwu Navy, mụ adị ekwu Navy, even na-ekwu
okay ị na-ekwu aviation as in the even anụwa but uche
no,
uche
when I say aviation, I'm not talking about the national aviation.
The military.
Yes, I'm talking about having the skill like pilots, having the skills within the
aircraft engineers,
aircraft operation, exactly, things like that.
The fact na-enwe Nigeria na-enwe dị enough enwe dị like aircraft engineers
for that na ndị be anyị na lamperi na ya. But go ahead. If I formulate, even if somebody not within the sector,
okay. Yeah, even cheap in actually discuss what the area of we are being marginalized where, because if we have to put it in perspective, again we say okay now are trying. Take for instance the issue of WAEC and JAMB. We follow to say abiasi ndị be anyị ndị ugwu due to the educational ife na anụwa ka ebutu olufa WAEC ife na score na JAMB score ka ọ dị low fa ga-eji wee na-aba na university otu esi eme n'obodo. So kedukwenu nke ndị be anyị ndị obodo ndị Nigeria ịchọpụta like I say achọghị m itinye aka ebe anyị atọ because itinye aka ebe anyị ọ bụrụkwa that discouragement. So kedu nke ọmaka compensate ndị a na nke a compensate ndị a na nke a ọ bụ na isi oke na-ego anya na this area ọnya ife a na-akpọ DEI in America or anywhere anya isi na ndị nke anụnwa a na-akwa na participate na nke a kedu ife anyị ga-eme enwere intention from the ife na ọnya bụ na all these things dị institutionalized. Ọnya bụ ife a ịkọcha ife anụnwa ifu na the impact ọ ga-eme na adụ very is almost minus 001 or nothing ma ọ bụ na ikwuche ife niile because the people who kwesị ime iwe abụ otu ahụ the federal government ji wee dị intentional na-ebutu mark JAMB for ndị ife na bugo nke ndị Anambra na Imo steeti for performing too high the same thing ka abịa akwesịkwa ịbịazikwa na nke anyị si oke ebe unu anara aba na military ka anyị butuo the standard unu ya eji na-abata to be intentional na unu ya abata but ifuru ya ka ọ na-eme ọ nara eme ọnya ka m ji si ka m welu na isiokwu ife anyị bịara hia ahụ ka anyị ghara ị na-ediscourage ndị be anyị and gwakwaba benefit dịkwa na ịba n'amị. I think that's the two part mụnwa well but ọ bụkwa nke ka ababa na na onwere onye jiwe n'ụkwụ na onwere onye jiwe n'aka. My brother, I can tell you from inside, achọrọ m ikwu too much on Navy because nwanne m na ebe anyị and mkwuo much ajụọ m more questions amụghara like he reveal much about him until o mechie ji nwa chinyelu fa ife na jebe. And second and second to that, on that aviation ife na awụna mechie those professional courses like aircraft engineer or whatever, you can work in Nigeria ma ọ bụ na you choose only need the same money onye nọ na America na earn or UK, whatever part of the country. Here nọ na Nigeria na earn with the same money, the companies will pay you exact same money, pay you accommodation and the rest of that. So all ndị be anyị ka anyị na-etinye n'uche wee dị intentional ma anyị na-achọ ịba n'amị. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, Uche, I wanted to contribute something again from what you said.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. See, I don't want to completely believe that. No, I don't know if I'm using the right language. No, it's a cultural thing. See, we have to understand that you cannot do what you don't have knowledge of. When our people, for example, you cited of pilots or engineers, when you don't have somebody that's been enlightened towards that area, the person may not want to go there because nobody explained it to him or her. So in the other way around, in these areas that our people are lacking, they need people like you to explain it in detail. Look at what this place is all about, the advantage of going into these places. If you don't do that, there's no way they will go there, not because they are not interested. Another aspect is, if you look at the way redeemed people help their people. I want us to also use it as another solution or way of getting our people into government or into this particular angle. You see that Redeem gets a lot of opportunities, federal opportunities, business opportunities, traveling opportunities. So if we can as well reach out to our main, maybe in the church area, talk to these guys in high level, because I don't know whether federal government usually call them or because they have top representatives as pastors or workers who also inform the people, look at what is available, go and apply now. When you apply, come back to me and tell me. I will see how to follow it up so that you get there. We need to reach out to our stakeholders to do the same thing. And at the same time, explain to them, look at where our people are lacking. Let's queue in. Because if they don't know that our people are lacking, for example, I have people, younger ones, that if they have opportunity of joining army or become an aircraft engineer, they will do it. But some of them don't understand what all of these things are about. They can hear pilot. Yes, some of them will hear pilot. But then they look at being a pilot as something that is not achievable just for some set of people, the rich or some highly placed individuals. So I'm saying that, number one, let's explain it to them, give them orientation about this particular job or area or department that we're lacking. Two, let's also use our institutions like church and other available institutions, people that are highly placed there. We have big pastors and big people doing a lot of work. Let those people help our people get this job so that Igbos will be represented. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Who is next to speak? We have.
Can I add up?
It's me. It's me. I'm
And
next to speak. I've been here since.
4th of July. Just hold on a second. Okorie, what are you saying?
okay, yes, my brother, I'm happy on this group. You join this group this hour. The nsogbu anyị nwere na as ndị Igbo wụ na structure we go already dị on ground then anyị this opportunity. because anụ m kunu na-ekwu okwu Nimasa. Ịbata na Nimasa na onye bụ onye isi ndị Nimasa, ọ ga-awụrịrị onye ofe mmanụ. Ịbata na amị na ka onye bụ onye isi ndị amị, ọ ga-awụrịrị onye. So most of these colleges, this training for ha na-abịakarị in America ma bụ college and all that. And when no somebody will recommend you, onye anaghị recommend gị. And when so many recommend the group because na hesi you from north or from Yoruba pụta no, I can't throw your name. Ebe mma nọ na Niger Delta. Ịbata here, ndị amị nọ here both ma Navy ma NEA, that is Nigeria Army, ma Air Force nọ here. Ndị a na-aga na pipeline check ndị na-eme bunkering and all that. Ị ga-afụ na majority of them ahụ nwere opportunity ịnọ na the deep sea ahụ ebe ego na-apụta bụ ndị ofe mmanụ na ndị Awụsa. Onye Igbo ọbụla abịara nọ ịnọ here 2 days atọ gị transfer to north. Majority of them nọ here bụ ndị Ugwu na ndị Yoruba. So structure enwego on ground enye anyị this opportunity from the best of my knowledge. You watch about my dear from non-Ugwu and Diamio, I wouldn't debang. Even the 18th of last year, 18th of April last year, and will attack him when I showed. When you believe how not the
Hello. I hope
I'm not here by 1 year.
okay. Okori, can
Hello.
you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can
You
hear you.
are
Yes.
you are dropping at some point. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead. Hello. Also, some Korea.
I can't hear him too.
Yeah, no, we
Okay.
can't hear him anymore.
Okay, Okori, all the network ga so I got my like ka ịbịachi ya ka ịkọwala anyị ife ị na-ekwu maka ife anyị na-ekwu dị oke mkpa. Darụ nne. Kedu onye ga-ekwu next? Ọ biko ọ bụrụ na ikwugo ka ịrịdata ka ndị ọzọ gbagote na enwe ndị na-request mic. So 4th of July.
Emiloko, na my turn.
Yes, I just mentioned your name now. 4th of July. Ngwa.
All right. Thank you very much. Dịka esi kwuo na mbụ ekwuola okwu atala ọkwa aja eze mana biko ka m njụgodo n'ajụjụ before m mee my submission. Anybody is free to answer after I've made my submission. You see, some of the reason why this thing is becoming a problem, if you look, Ebim na Lagos, Yotra, it's not, this problem are the peculiar to Ndi Igbo alone. I think it's very, very peculiar in the southern part of the country also, when you want to generalize it, you know. But then, is there any reason why all the defense academy are in the north? And I think the only one in the southern part of the country is the Naval Maritime Academy, non-Akwa Ibom or something. The NDA is in Kaduna. Air Force, I think there is one in Jos, and then Air Force Institute of Technologies in Kaduna too. Police Academy, Kano too. You know, these are some of the issues also, because I believe that an average Igbo person that are very, very safe na southern part of the country. Obru na enwe NDA abụọ, ofu na north, ofu na south. Because as big as Nigeria, I don't think it's actually encouraging the whole country. Obru also ofu ka enwe, and almost all the academies obru na north ka ibu ya je. One meghotara. So an average Igbo person got this safer na Benin. Obru na enwe a defense academy there. Or got this safer in Ekiti State. Or got this safer in Osogbo. Or got this safer in Bayelsa than Nubu. So this is I will talk about the welfare and the numeration later, but this is also an issue. There's no need having all these defense academy littered across the northern part of the country. And on Wofu, In fact, adị m sure na ọ bụ na enwere coastal area na north, a ga-ebukwa this naval this thing bujekwa ya ugwu. So this is something we look into. Me, I will be the last person to discourage anybody joining the Nigerian army. In as much as there is rot in the institution, in fact, there is rot in Nigeria as an institution, because when my schoolmates, in the house WAEC, there are 3 of them who are into service. Though one of them don't drop though. As far back as 2017, 18, 19, the guy in Asavo, somewhere in Yobe State. I think during the height of Boko Haram then in Yobe State. This guy sent the picture on a WhatsApp group like this. In fact, I told ego. It was the problem. They cannot go on account, but to withdraw the money now, I bruising sobu. He withdraws the money now, I was the problem. But he goes in, I won't sobu. So make it. I think during that NSAS time, Kabazibia deploy to Warri, and then was Benin now, still active in service. So the welfare there, it's nothing to write home about also. And then the salary, everybody knows that. But then, of course, discouraging our people is not the way forward, because the numbers you have in the military is what determines a nation, or even a tribe, or even a region, as a Libody now. Because at the end of the day, if Nigeria happens to split today and Ayada, at the end of the day, how many guns can you raise? Men no looking when who the consign. How many guns can you raise? How many men can you hand over weapon to fire at the end of the day? Because for this message is for people they discourage in the buying. Can happen Nigerian military. They are banning more start running away from the law, start living jumping from one bush to another. And I keep telling them, I saw a post that one of them put, a poll that one of them put, which one is better, join ESN or join Nigeria? I was just laughing. And I'll keep telling it, for some people who are here and who still have that same mindset, see, I will say it, if Nigerian army decide to deploy 10% of our military might, I don't think all these things in the Yemen and Southeast today will last in a fortnight. Because as much as you might see it, there is no how you can withstand an organized military formation. Obro to read this serious as a nation. It is not possible. You cannot withstand an organized military formation that had descend there on you. These are the truths. And the people who are discouraging our people knows this. Yes, the system is rotten, the system is bad. But then, of course, some people can actually effect a change. It mustn't happen in a year or 2 years, more after you say, it take time. But at the end of the day, that change will come. When the vision, when the ideology, but then, of course, as we are encouraging our people, we also have to look at some of the issues also. Because to me, I don't think there's a reason why a southerner, somebody from Imo State now, the person will not, for me, I won't feel safe there. I would rather feel safe in the deepest part of the urban data than Ubu. So these are some of the things. And finally, I think last, we need help. I need the some of us non defense, some was them name opposed. We need help. A lot of an average Igbo man need help, because the orientation, the ideology of Ndi Igbo 10 years ago is no longer the same ideology of an average Igbo man present now. And everything boils down to the political orientation anyway. All the political orientation anyway, mere ndị nwere onwe ji eme ndị ntorobịa be anyị discourage na ha joinkwara ndị agha ndị Nigeria. These are the issues. Ka m kwụsịgo n'ebe a, ndewo.
Daalụ, 4th of July. Nke bụ eziokwu ikwulu ọfụma. N'uche nke m, na ndị be anyị kwesịrị inwe serious reorientation. Ife a na-akpọ delayed gratification, ọ dịrị anyị na ji na-atọ nke taa nke echi, ya wụ ọkụ n'ọkụ, ogbucha achasị ibute ọcha ha achasị ibute kịta nke ka esi mee esi gbupụ isi, ọ bụrụ na o nwere isi etinye isi onwe isi, ya wụ we do not have any long-term plan at all. And nwere ihe a na-akọ, ị na-akọ ihe a, you are wasting your time. You need anything that has to do with process, you're wasting your time. That's why that this Biafra agitation is looking like a child's play. If you look at that, you compare that to what is happening in Cape Town. I keep making reference to these places so that Google it, go and check what these people are doing. Take your time. In school, made interested in Biafra. Take your time and read about Cape Town. In Africa. Take your time, read about it. Take your time, read about Spain. Catalonia. You know, I don't know why that skipped my mind. Take your time, read about what they're doing. Take your time, Google list of countries or list of people that are looking for their independence, something like that. Just Google there. If that now you are not alone on this journey, there are thousands of countries, separatist groups that are agitating actively. There are many of them. Then you take your time. Where go back? If ever name, a confusion if I name, am I doing it? Are we doing the same thing that name? You know, because everything was standard, a process. Sometimes, so the whole idea of not discouraging our people not to get into military is then encouraging them to get into ESN is so ridiculous. Anybody that is saying this, just maluno onya had suffer from myopia, onya just didn't know or the blind. Onya the blind. As an ESN militia, you can only run around inside bush. As a Nigerian military officer, you can be anywhere in Nigeria. You can be anywhere in Nigeria. You're able to understand the different terrains, to understand different people, perspectives and whatnot. Enwelo problem within the system. I accept. Everybody knows this. In fact, the military, I keep blaming the military itself because somehow I allow Nigerian state to be like this. If they go on strike or do something very drastic that will require the federal government to take care of them, increase their salary and their welfare, they will get it. But their leaders are not speaking. Most of their leaders are compromised. So I blame them solely on this. And I hope that the new crop of generation that are coming up will be much more radical in making demands. I'm not advocating for them intervening in our democratic process. I want them to make the rightful demands for themselves so that their welfare and whatever thing that they are involved in will be good, because they are using their men, sacrificing them, putting them in the harm's way due to so many carelessness and bad leadership. So all these things are noted. We know these things, but we cannot at the same time discourage anybody. Anyway, let's have Marvel. Marvel, baby. Let's have your contribution. If you're not here, we can call on Amy. I think Amy Choke.
Okay. I greet everybody in the house. My own contribution, I think I'm going to be very, very quick about it. Growing up as a child, I grew up in a, what's it called, 242 Reke Battalion, Ibereko Barracks, that is in Badagry, Lagos State. I attended Army Children's School there before going to State High School. Growing up, I think I had a lot of, I was seeing myself that I would love to be a soldier because of the way the environment, as in there are a lot of things attached to it. Maybe peradventure because I was a child, I wasn't so sensitive to other aspects of life, but I saw it as a profession that accord a lot of respect both within and outside. Even my uncle registered me for Nigerian Navy College, yes, but I don't know why I didn't get admission to that. So having said all this, when I returned to the East around 2012, the soldiers I saw in Badagry is different from those I met in Abia State. I saw a set of soldiers who will bully citizens when you pass, or eventually maybe you are answering call within that, especially somebody who is familiar with Ohanko Road, that is by Ungwa Road. There is a soldier, I don't know if that is a barracks or a checkpoint or something of that. So, but there's a place where soldiers used to stay there. And during that TA Orji's tenure, yes, I think towards the concluding part of his tenure, there is always a muddy water around that vicinity. You see, each time you, as a young man, maybe you try to receive a call around that area. Sometimes you are even far off. There is, you are not even close to them. Maybe at the edge of Ohanko, and you want to receive call. You see soldiers, they mount on you, they force you to swim the dirty water, stuff like that. I was like, this is not the kind of soldiers or the military I am familiar with. I don't know why is it different in this in my place, because the military people I grew up with are the ones that even I was a civilian, I could engage in a fight with the sun and nothing will happen. We could have maybe normal stuff like that. I'm not sure how come these people are behaving totally different outside in this side, that is the south, in the southeast. So in a nutshell, I'm just trying to let us know that some of the things that is happening to us as Southeasterners should even trigger us to join the military and not a kind of shy away from it. For example, I can count how many times I was in my mother's village and the military personnel, they would just come there unannounced and begin to bully people because they believe that everyone in the village, that every one of us there, we are making guns, stuff like that. And you find out that most times villagers are running away, elderly ones, so everybody would just run away from the house when such things occur. These are things that will trigger us naturally to join the military. And trying to say that someone should not join the military, instead the person should go for ESN, is a total madness for me. There's no sense in it. It doesn't make sense at all. Let's come to it in the aspect of recognition. When you talk about ESN, ESN is not globally recognized, but the Nigerian army or the Nigerian armed forces is something global. Once you are a military man, they know you that you're a military man. Like most people who have speak before me, they said the ESN they run around in the bush, and why the military can go anywhere. That is just the fact. And I will also not encourage, neither am I going to, I'm not going to pressure someone to join the military, considering a lot of factors. You know, we Easterners, we have this, should I say, most persons in the East have this belief. Even our parents sometimes are contributors, because they will tell you when you join the military, they are going to post you far away in the north to fight Boko Haram. Before you know, you lose your life. Yes, those are part of the military arrangement. You are kind of taking out. There's an undertaking that, my life, I want to serve my country, stuff like that. So those are part of it. But that is not enough reason for us to shy away. Like the last speaker or the second to the last speaker said, if there is a breakout of war or anything, I think the Southeast or we Easterners will need to have enough capable hand that um, will kind of stand for us or defend us. Actually, even till now, I haven't totally erased that mindset of joining the military, but sometimes, like I was discussing with a senior friend who is a senior officer in the Nigerian Navy. So I was discussing with him, and I told him, I said, the only problem I have is my height. I don't know if I will be accepted because of my height, because I'm not very tall, and I know military has to do with height sometimes, especially when you are going through recruit. And other factors, I think one of us also mentioning is this issue of, I will say it, I will just put it in this form, that Nigeria is structured in such a way that most of the sectors are not favoring the East. That is just the reality of life. And sometimes if you look at it critically, if we go back to history, you find out that the personers who even spearheaded or who saw that some of these establishments happen in where they happen to be our brothers. I will give a vivid example. Let's talk about the aviation industry. I think the major school of aviation that we have in Nigeria I think it should be in Kaduna also. Then we now have one in Lagos, which was established not too long. That's aviation school in Kaduna. The person that spearheaded it and make sure that that school was established was an Igbo man. I can't really remember his name right now, but I'm sure of what I'm saying. So Nigeria is structured that the East is being sidelined and is not really favored. And sometimes, even sometimes, if we must strike a change, we have to be ahead. What am I trying to say? If there is any need for us to have any form of, let's say, a sector or a branch of the armed forces in the East, somebody have to be in the top head to spearhead that. And in a situation whereby we are shining away of even joining the military, then getting such thing done would be almost impossible. I think at this junction, I want to yield my mic for others to speak. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Do we have Marvel now? Marvel, are you here? Okay,
Sorry, my thought has been going off and on. I wouldn't know if anybody can hear me and when my turn is.
I can hear you, but
Okay.
just hold on. Let's Marvel speak. Marvel,
Good evening,
Marvel baby.
Richie. Good evening.
Yeah,
Good
good evening.
evening. Can you hear me?
No, okay.
Okay, so I will not take my time.
I can't hear you clearly, Marvel.
Okay.
We can't hear her.
Marvel, your network is very bad. I don't want to use the word terrible. It's very bad because let's go to non-conformists. Is that
Because
yeah?
we have discussed this topic
Okay.
on Sunday.
Okay. I think she's back.
Marvel,
So I'll just be
your
brief.
network was terrible. Marvel, non-conformists, go ahead, please.
Okay. I greet everybody. Good evening. um, my guy Jay, he don't come back. He said he don't know how to hold space again. Anyway, that was on a lighter note. So I just want to say I've been listening to this space for a while, and I don't know. I think we need to understand that military work is no longer enticing to the, when we talk about the kind of world we live in today. We're talking about a world where you can just have a phone, have a tripod in your house, and then you can start cashing out millions. Like, why would you want to go and kill yourself? That is the kind of world we live in. And until that is why these jobs are made attractive all over the world. That is why they offer citizenships. That's why they offer statuses. That's why they offer different things, because it's no longer a job that is in demand, and we need to come to terms with that. So if you don't see people as enthusiastic as they used to be some 10, 15 years ago, I'm speaking from my own experience because I tried to join 2 times. I tried the Navy once and I tried the Army 2 times. Then I was like, I don't think even if you tell me you're going to promote me to the rank of a major today, I'll still want to join the Army. I honestly don't think I would even contemplate it. And so when we put these things vis-a-vis the situation in Nigeria, I lived in the barracks for almost 20 years. I have seen the conditions in which, in an army barracks, or Joe military cantonment to be precise, I've seen the conditions in which these people live. I've seen their remunerations. I know what a lieutenant, if I second lieutenant up to a brigadier, major, general, their salaries. I lived with these guys. Trust me. Delayed gratification, Anambra. Well, it's subjective, and that is the honest truth. I'm saying this because I know what I'm saying. I'm talking about a job where you renovate your own house. They publish a house for you, and then if you don't spend millions, you can't move in there. And these are officers. I'm not even talking about other ranks like we usually call them. We're talking about a job where the only clout I think he has is that fear people had for the military. So you're driving, you put your cap in front of your car, your dashboard, so that police no go stop you or anything. I think that is the biggest spec these guys get. They get into trouble, or maybe you can call them if you have issues. And see, what I'm trying to say is the Nigerian military is not enticing. And the Nigerian state is not making it enticing. If you go and look at the last DSC or the last DSS recruitments, because they usually publish these things on the newspapers, usually what we used to know some 10, 15 years ago was, they were allotted slots for states. But that arrangement does not stand anymore. There are some states that don't even get any when these guys are picked to come to Jaji or wherever they go to. There are some states that have 5 people. Some states don't even get any. Some states they pick just one person. I am telling you facts. Let's even start from the beginning. When I say the very, very beginning, how do you even get a lieutenant colonel or equivalent to even be a referee for you? Let's even start from there. How many lieutenant colonels do you know? These things are not exactly enticing anymore. Because you can't just walk into a barracks and say you're looking for someone who is in the rank of a lieutenant colonel because you want, and you're a BSc holder, you're an HND holder. How much are you paid to start with? You earn less than 300,000 as a lieutenant in the Nigerian army. Okay, second lieutenant. Maybe now they've increased minimum wage. They earn so much, 300 and something thousand. What I'm trying to say is for a job as dangerous as the Nigerian army, where you face
You haven't
bandits,
been
you face,
magnanimous. You have been magnanimous.
so what I'm saying is this, I understand the whole Igbos don't want to join. See, this whole uprise because they are recruiting for other ranks. Do they shout? Do they tell you people don't join them for DSSC, SSC, and even the NDA? They don't tell you Igbos don't join now. You will not hear that. But then they want people to go to depot, so they look at the numbers. People from it is the South. Someone mentioned it already. It is the South general, and it's because people in the South already have moved their minds away from that. We are looking at aviation, we are looking at tech, we're looking at startups, we're looking at different other things. So if you do not make it enticing, I am telling you today, if you join the Nigerian army and they post you to a job barracks, I am telling you that you will struggle to even find a self-contained to live in as a second lieutenant or as a lieutenant. I am telling you, I'm saying it unequivocally. And I'm saying this from an experience that I have. Where let's say you have a family of 3. Where do you want to live? There are transit camps. If you live, the honest truth, what I'm trying to say is, in a nutshell, so I don't hog this mic for too long, this job is not enticing. It used to be at some point, I'll be honest with you, when they had that clout. Today, you see a colonel with redneck saluting a governor with one leg up. A whole colonel. Is that the job you're saying? People, even when people say, okay, let them join so that police will not intimidate them. A DSS guy can just, a governor says, DSS, remove this guy cap, and they will take it off. So this job is no longer enticing. I'll keep saying it. And until the Nigerian army, that's why you see they don't make so much noise about the Air Force and Navy recruitment. You know why? There's still some level of respect for those guys, the way their operations are. But you see army, Nigerian army, people wait they say they just won't hit some rank, let them just be pensionable, and then they just get out. The moment they hit major, they say they want to put paper, and then you see them. It is not a job that is so sweet anymore. So that's just all I want to say. We can talk about
All right, thank you.
it's fine, Anambra, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Noga. I just wanted to engage you on some things you said. I admit, if you check Nigerian military, I have been one of the top voices calling them out, especially their unprofessional operation in the region, in the southeast. The roadblocks, I have been the one calling for demilitarization of the southeast. It has been the hashtag that I champion since 2020. So I understand that part. I think what we are looking at is the holistic view, and we are looking at this beyond today, because you can never tell what will happen next 5 years, and you also cannot tell what's likely going to happen in the next 10 years. So how do you plan without getting involved, without being part of the system? especially in an institution like military that is very important in every nation, and you systematically isolate yourself. How do you begin to plan for next 10 years? You made mention of aviation, where you said that the people in the South are more interested in. I said it earlier here that our people are actually lacking, and we are lagging behind in that sector. Not from the federal government perspective, from the people, really, from our people who we have not really had enough individuals from our place who have professional skills, resident in Nigeria, and that can service the whole industry. If you look at the two major aircraft that are being owned by our people, a majority of their workers, or some of their workers, are majorly sourced from other ethnic nationalities. The point is that we do not have enough. We don't have enough in that department as well. And I also mentioned maritime. These are the information that I'm aware of, that our people don't delve into these spaces. And when I say maritime, I'm not talking about Navy. I'm talking about sector. Maritime as a sector. There are so many things within maritime. There are so many things there, and our people are not playing the game very well. Anyway, what we are looking at is we're asking questions, and we are responding to some of them, looking for a possible or better way to approach some of these things. Because at the end of the day, what we are looking for is how it's going to be better for all of us. But I appreciate your contribution. We are looking at this thing from different perspective, hoping to see the best perspective.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Anambra, can I just say
for your
something to what you said?
contribution.
Sorry, I'll be very quick so other people can speak.
Yeah.
So I just want to understand what you mean by getting involved, so that in the next 10 years, what will change if we have our people in the military? What do you think will change?
I think in the beginning of our conversation, we gave instances, and we also pointed out a lot of things. So I remember talking about being middleman minority. I gave analysis of what makes us middleman minority. And being a middleman minority in Nigeria, what it means is that we are itinerant people. We are everywhere in Nigeria, so we are easily seen, easy targets, and so on. And there were some cases where I also pointed out, which was collaborated by NWBC, the host, where he said, during the riots in the north, they refused them entrance into the military. It was an Igbo man, Mr. John, according to him, that allowed them rather, that if he wasn't there, that they wouldn't have been allowed to go into the military, and maybe they could have been clubbed. The point here is that if we do not have our people well represented in this department, you never can tell what will happen in the next 10 years. And we cannot be making decisions based off emotion. We must make decision from a very long-term standpoint. You cannot say, oh, this is no longer good, therefore it is destroyed or is cancelled. You just have to sit down and ask yourself, what will it be like in the next 10 years? Because listen, any decision we make must have a consequence. It must have a consequence. It's either a good consequence or bad consequence. And it's definitely going to have what you call unintended consequence, something that you never planned. All right? So someone rightly said, military is a very important institution anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Look at Israel, look at Thailand, look at South Korea. All of them, they have mandatory system where everybody goes through that system. So people are needed to go through that system of military training. So, and there is no training you get anywhere, right, outside the military system that can be compared to what you are given to in that military. So if we do not have a very good representation in Nigerian military, In the next 10 years, I am keep using 10 years because we are looking at today. And I'm telling us, look, let's look beyond today. We may become very likely the weakest link, that can easily be invaded, can easily be, very vulnerable to any type of attack. And we're experiencing external invasion in our land today, and we call on our governors, do hashtag and do all of that. And in my head, I'm asking myself, getting the governor one night nwoke n'ebe a si Obago si Ihamufu kwuru okwu. Enwere ụfọdụ ihe anyị ada aghọta. Ịghọtago, when you do not have your people in those places, enwere ụfọdụ ihe ga-emenụ inide efa ịma mfụfa. So all these things can factor in before you make a decision. Because if you make decision based on emotion and their welfare is not taken care of and they are being killed, you might go those things without being very tactical. One day, we are hurting ourselves on the long run. And this is my opinion. This is a personal opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. And it's so sad that I'm not being made to, to seem like the face of the military. I'm not the representative of the military. I'm not their PR. I don't like them either. I don't like what they are doing in Igbo land. But I want our people to get seriously involved in their operation. So that if we don't like something, you become part of it and change it if you can. If you can't, at least So that's my response to that, non-conformist. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah. Well, it's a very broad conversation, but just let's not go into. There's no problem. Let's to be okay to just move the mic. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much for your time. So Elon Pure, can you come up?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Daluno, I was so happy when I saw this conversation, this space, because I would speak from a couple of personal experience. I wouldn't know if Engineer Prince Chisco at I Am Chisco One, if he's here listening, because there's a comment I made and he was trying to make a bit of mockery. So I would be happy to answer him. Well, I personally live in the UK, but before then, I served in the army, Nigerian army precisely, for 16 years and 40 days. Yes, you heard that right. 16 years and 40 days. And here, Bulangeku here, I will try to be as careful as possible, but I would also say what I think would help us as Igbo. The truth bụ na anyị nwa bụ ndị Igbo, some of us adịghị enyere onwe anyị aka, and many a time we don't also find ourselves in a place where we can be helped. To answer Engineer Chinonso, who said I ran away before I was due for whatever, I left at a pensionable age, right? I did 16 years and 40 days. As one of us, somebody here once mentioned, once you are 10 years, you are pensionable in the military. Now, Oge Mbarami, right? 2007 precisely, right? Before then, Nemero one small business. I tried enlisting as an officer in the NDA, but it wasn't possible. So Ngozi Onwemda, what's the point? To keep waiting. Let me try this other means, and then instead of business, let me just use the opportunity. I didn't want to further my education. I was working as a merchandiser, with a company, and I was doing quite well. And decided say that let me go on. When I enlisted, just to cut the long story short, while in the army, I was in the army when I had my masters, right? So right from when I had my BSc firstly, trying to move up there, to be commissioned was very difficult for certain reasons I wouldn't want to mention, which I believe some of us may guess right. Now, why the reason you see that some of us don't help ourselves in the army, while some in the army do not find themselves where they'll be helped. Ona. Echetere m oge. There was a time Naruno, right? More youths in my village. See her. Or anybody they interested. I think this meeting I had with them was in sometime. Let me just come with it. I know around 2019. 2019, yeah. 2019, 2020. Or anybody they interested, Ibanyami. If you are, let me know. Because recruitment they on then. The mother say, oh yes, we want to. Some are say, oh, I choho. Ndị si na ha chọrọ, I rallied with them, chọọ ndị ga-assign ha as guarantor and all that. My own cousin, Sonande selected. Guess what? Ọ gbara ọsọ from recruitment ground. One of my village boys succeeded mgbe nke Navy pụtara. He's still in the Navy till today. Another point bụ, many of us find ourselves. You remember I said two things when some of us are in Wanyaka. Some will handle certain places, they will not see who will help them. Ọkwa onye Igbo dịka m, right? Gbagotere n'ọkwa. Ya wanyere maka njere ji nweta my master's while in the military because I was working with him at that time. So onyekwe maka na-aga school. I can say some of these things now because I voluntarily discharged, right? So Onyemaka na-aga my studies, now o nwere mgbe post ziri ya akpọta one man ọzọ onye Calabar, a colonel at that time. I was in the guard room. This man saying I was in the guard room for 9 days. I was to write my final exam then. Nwoke a sị na I am not going anywhere. Onye gwara m na m ga-aganwu school. Onye Calabar, ọ bụ ọdịna onye ugwu. Onye Calabar, onye gwara m na m ga-aganwu school. A colonel, onye gwara m na m ga-aganwu school. A major general who was the garrison commander then, I was serving in 82 division then. A major general who was garrison commander then, he was just promoted to major general. So it wasn't that ke onye anọ na gadron kemgbe ke ihe bụ offense ya. As soon as the person, his CEO locked him up because of school. Meanwhile, he was released. Long talk. Imana onye nwoke onye Yoruba. O release him. Singa did that exam and come back. So nga did that exam na chite. The point I'm making is, I've used this one to say that some people in there are there for anybody to help them. Now, within the military, some people get the opportunity to be helped, but have choose though the wrong path to follow. I had the opportunity, got different military operations and all that. But guess what? I choose room education. And till today, even at this country now, right? Till today, any Banye, even here, because here, as a Commonwealth, as somebody from the Commonwealth, in opportunities, you join some of their clubs and all that. Always certain recognitions they give to us for having served. Mgbe m may apply for my first visa. My visa, I didn't pay for any special whatever. But within 2-3 days, right? And I'm the note that came with it because of that service in the military. So all of these things which are advantages. Anywhere you go in the world, as somebody said, anywhere you go in the world, you are recognized. The Nigerian army, so how when it then born, and even till now, you don't have funding. In fact, Ojo Cantonment non-conforming Sukuru is even good compared to some of the places you can go. Honestly, you won't be able to breathe. Honestly, you won't be able to live because the accommodation are not habitable. You wouldn't be able to. You won't even have water. Sometimes see a funde block at ego go borehole onwe ha because there is no enough water. Onya neighbor, what's his name? He can attest to what I'm saying. Mazi is okay not here. There was a time I raised an alarm about Ikeja Cantonment and went Hoko for close to for a postum there. I was posted to Yakam in 2015. Yeah, 2015. From 2016, Ikeja Cantonment and went Hoko up till 2022. The last time I checked. Yeah, when Hoko and then Hoko only 3 hours every day from 2015 to no 2016 to 2022. So imagine you are risking your life for a nation and I did treat it well. As I was saying, non-conformist was being, good with what he was saying. 300,000 he's mentioning is what is paid to a lieutenant colonel. 350K there, but it's what's paid to a lieutenant colonel. A major earns around 200, and unless me when a good appointment, Wednesday maybe hand about running cost allowance. You just run office, maybe help some for yourself, or and you get certain allowances and all. But the remuneration is so poor. Here go your uniforms yourself. The only time, one of the last times, sorry, I'm taking too long. I'm just trying to tell us some of the problems our people actually ibanye there. The only time Akuro, what they call furniture allowance, here we go every military person yearly for you to take care of your household and all, and I furniture allowance. It was during Yaradua's time, and I once say every December. But Yaradua made sure that all could that money. And Yaradua, at least, Amam Kaho, physical, at least I was in Abuja then. Yaradua Yaga to the gate. This guys, this one is, nobody can ever contest it because I was there, I saw it live. Okay, this guy is to gate, Gajo, and you went to go this money. Have you gotten this? Have you gotten this? That was one of the problems Goodluck Jonathan had. I continue to say it. Onyego, he will not follow up. Now, our people have forgo all these challenges for how you are risking your life, for how you are not being appreciated, for how ibanye there, somebody agwagi that onye Igbo a is na ịchọrọ ịga school, abi ịchọrọ inwe nke a, or just somewhere tụọ gị out of. There was one day one brigadier general had to ask that colonel that why are you trying to kill an ant with a sledgehammer? Meaning that only about nothing to you. Why are you stressing yourself over this young man? Unnecessary hatred. So, but there are still some people that will love you, irrespective of where you are from. So our people at check go all these things. It's just too many. Our people at check go all these things. Have fun when I say, Oziha Kangaga Bo for. At the end of it all, your family is not even properly taken care of. How many of my colleagues back then Ngoroni, their family did not even stay 1 year in the barracks. Enyeha evict ya. How many of them kwaga umuha school fees, up to whatever level. I know how many of them are chatting me up now, to pay school fees for the kids. Because whatever was promised, I didn't So all of these are the issue. It is too deep, my people. What I think we should just focus on is to be encouraging our people. Yes, Odema, for your own personal growth. For your own personal growth, because Otuano, there's nowhere in the world in my discharge certificate, with the military medals somewhere, see anywhere now. They bomb immediately that we have your this, we have your that. Thank you for service. You know, at least they want to hear from you. So these are some of the opportunities that can now open doors for our people. So I think we should encourage them. We should continue to encourage our people, to join. I might hand the ESN name and all that, trying to discourage everyone, trying to discourage anyone, but it's not helping anything. And when how anything made that is helping anybody, there's a whole lot to say, but I'll just keep it short this way. Let us just keep doing the best encouragement that we can. But our people are discouraged because of some of these things. Because in Anya, a private soldier, when I left, a corporal was being paid about 59,000 naira. Okay, 59,000 go as at today, and which I'm not sure has been increased till now. You know, a lieutenant, some non-conformist na a second lieutenant earning around 200 and no, second lieutenant earn maybe 170 something to 180 something. While a master warrant officer earns just about 5,000 below that. So, what can you buy with that? You know, and I know now is that you would have to and they know some of those barracks now because some of their NEPA bills and so it's unverified. So what are they doing to encourage you? You are buying your uniform yourself. You are doing everything basically for yourself. You have a family. Obuho, all your children gaga command that is almost free. It's not even completely free. Negotiate the cost of school fees is deeper. Honestly, my people, all the deeper than we think. The
So,
military has this. Before I
Elompio,
forget,
Elompio,
before I
let me
forget,
engage.
yeah.
Let me engage you a bit. Thank you so much for the contribution you made so
Sorry,
far. But
can
I
make
have
this
a
point before I
question.
forget.
Okay, okay.
Please let me make one before I forget. Somebody, I think you were the one that mentioned you can't have any uprising in the military. It's strictly it's called mutiny. Nahaga Potase, in the military, we used to say then that you can't complain, you can only grumble, but your grumbling must not be heard. You don't have any rights. The only right thing when in the army is to collect your salary every month. That's the only right.
No,
Every other
okay.
right you don't have, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that to make the right demand for the military,
Mm,
whose responsibility is that? Because the welfare of the military, their salaries and every other thing that they require for their well-being, these things are important. But it appears they are not talking about it. They are not
yeah.
making the right noise. So who do you think that this responsibility is saddled with?
So the responsibility is saddled for you and me to help them speak out. Do you know why I could talk, or rather, do you know why I can speak now? Because I'm no longer in the system. But even at that, one or two friends will still call me and say, "Okay, what are you saying?" Because trust me, they are everywhere. It is a system. Right. Nke m kwuru one time, the questions I got, inwe ike, what's his name? Mazi will bear me witness. I know I even mentioned it to him. Right. So it behoves on you and me to speak for those who are still in the system. That is the truth. They cannot speak. I wouldn't have been able to say anything if I was still there. Because enweghị ọnụ okwu ihe apụta abịa, for example, asị na chief of army staff na-abịa, all soldiers gather at the parade ground, for example, agwa unu ho ha, don't mention this, don't mention that, kwuo ya now, inwe isi atọ kwuo ya. The institution dey a bit flexible where you can speak a bit. You have a small right with Navy, because Navy onwe ha na-akpọ a request, right? Enwere ike pụta isi ha I request her, and they cannot refuse you not to say what. Anybody mad in Navy here will know what I said, you know. Yeah, but in the army you can't even request. Abia ainga enwere ike ị na-aga joint operation as ndị Navy not there. Kita no ọbụghị Navy barrack no anọzi joint, so you can't request anything. It behoves on you and me to speak out for these people. Ichetere, Nde Falana fought for, a couple of years ago in Akbo Hamilton because they were trying to write, let me use the word for lack of words. They're trying to riot for ego nke ha, their privilege mgbe ha si Operation Bata. So you don't have any rights. You lost it all. By the way, let me also share. When I wanted to join, rather, my father didn't allow me. Pamekweham, he was with Abeg and all that. In fact, that guy got him for exercise when he found out that I had already gone. You know, so because Hammer, the dangers in the system, you know, hammer the dangers in the system. So when we look at all of these things, we'll just have no choice than to continue to encourage our people. tell them more of what they can benefit personally, how they can be alive, how they can build their life after, while in the system. The best training I had was in the military. I give that to the military. Every aspect of my disciplinary life and every aspect of who I am today was gotten from the military because I joined them at a very young age, right? Was from the military, and all the kudos, and all. And I can still have lots of friends. Monday, because even when I had a master's in the military, I was teaching majors, lieutenant colonels in my course, Haga courses and all. Have gone and asked him, and some of them have even, how many of them, which my Lieutenant Colonel Hatobawoko, they are now here because you basically all just that respect. Iba BRT lane, the police would have gonna say, the car, oh, show us your ID card, the flash ID, you gawaro wage. But even at that, after then, how will you survive? How will you survive? But it's even messy right now because when you're going to fugunozo, mega embarrassed. One oga ekego number to all
Let's have time for this, please. Let's have time. We won't be here forever.
All right, so sorry to take this long. It's just I was just a bit emotional because it's too much. So to cut it short, let's just encourage people, about the personal gain ha ga-enwe ma ha banye, other than personal gain in terms of how they will build their life, and for a future, other than other things else. Ndị mmadụ ga-ege anyị ntị. Daalụ.
All right, thank you so much, Daberechi.
Yeah, Uche nwoke ọma ndewo.
Dalo.
Yeah. Now, agakwa m okwu with keen interest ihe a kwuga kemgbe all this while, and here now we're a very delicate subject matter because le police, these two institutions, they relegate alone so much that ndị Igbo enwezi so much interest in it. Ịma ihe a na-ekwu gbasara onye nwanne ya bara police n'ala Igbo, it's almost that a na-agụpụ gị. Before, army nwetara some dignity, because m ga-ekwu as somebody ebiri m na barracks for a couple years, enwere m growing up, I had about 10 of us in the street. We had so much enthusiasm about joining the army. By the time they finished, if I didn't even finish my secondary school, Maga straight to my auntie. My auntie then was a captain at 343 Artillery LLA, which is a 343 and 5 battalion. There are two of them staying at LLA there in River State. Living there for almost 2 years gave me a life-changing experience. That at the end of the day, after living there, I came out and I decided I was not going to join the army. And you might not sound to you like the discussion you've been having Anambra first one. I know you want to encourage people because of the future. You are talking of 10 years now, where you have, a quota of your people in the military that at least can stand up for your people and stay for your people. But also, I get more understand that Eba Shibia, Ndigo, people in Igbo land, people are very well independent of thought. And, only Igbo potahon na this thing and work. Or where he gave me your tea yaka. Going back to my experience, Ibina Barracks, I lived in the barracks there at 5 Battalion LL for a couple years, and the experience in when they are firsthand, you see, I had friends. My friends was more of soldiers that were non-commissioned officers. They were more of my friends, and I would see their families. Many soldiers in our honors, like
many of them are broken. They probably don't even have a family. Many of them, you have a barrack boy, there is a high chance that your son, him on a barracks, will turn out to be a criminal. There is a high chance that a daughter you have in the barracks will turn out to be a prostitute or something like that in that nature. But it was just a mess. And a Kuku accommodation, there is no real tangible accommodation. For the non-commissioned officers, their case is worse. Many people be under leaking roof for years, and you see them struggling to fix it. Ebim Nelele at the height of militancy, and I also saw how many of these men were taken care of. Like when there is casualty, how they are abandoned. My auntie then was a nurse. I always go to the hospital, the clinic at the hospital to, get her lunch and do this thing. Her husband was a doctor and a captain then. So I saw firsthand what it was. And at the end of the day, even my sign-up form, he joined the NDA because I was fresh out of finishing my secondary school at GAS, Government Army Secondary School, inside the barracks there. Seeing all these things firsthand changing my mind totally, And for more personally, I won't even advise anybody to even join, because I want a very collective arrangement as I chose the quota. But how about the people we are sending there? How about the people we are encouraging to go there? Maybe the salary are big enough. Are we allowed to, as a people, chorok our quota there? Like, something with the Jewish community. The Jewish community, how can happen? Their people not in banking. They open a secret WhatsApp group and sponsor their people into banking. How can their people not into police? Hey, me a secret WhatsApp group. Get when they about Jewish lawyers, Jewish police, Jewish this one, Jewish that. Are we allowed to do that? Say, because natural our people win a quota in the military. Can we as a body of Igbo people, because their salary are there enough, because their accommodation are there enough, that our people now going to the military, that we as a people can support them because we want to maintain that quota. But because that thing not possible, or even if it's going to be possible, good. But because not possible, we are left with where we are. Igbo people are independent of thought. Going back to my story, a friend of mine, Aina Esoto, okay, he was one of us. I needed a crew and I got joined the army. We were very enthusiastic about it, Okay, at some point later joining the army as a recruit, non-commissioned officer, Gawara, went on his path, 2 years later, okay, came back, got married. Everybody was happy. Any problem in the street, you may call okay Azaragi phone, Meregi, we'll speak here to one or two and, problem got settled. But what is the end goal? On the four and a half year of okay got injured during, all the insurgency in the Northeast. Right now, okay, no Aba. Right now, okay, no Aba. No single incentive. Okay, Rudigi age, or you not in the force, give into some retirement or this thing. Or like people within the force who made a contribution. And the time I through on the street, you can on a banner, where is it as a soldier now, where uniform here, a chogoku, a megan car, just to survive. Now, youth or people know in the neighborhood or kids that are going in the neighborhood now hold those stories, tell those stories. Elay their incentive. Remember, Igbo people are independent of ideas. I will get shippy. We don't follow things because everybody, Nemea, we don't do that. So what will be the incentive for a child not in the street and they grow up? Okay, no story, okay? Or somebody like even for people not around within Okay's age, when any intuition or any idea, say, okay, let me join the army. You know, her whole story, okay, what would they consider? You know, no good health care. You know, my any of us or Catalan barrack, be in a barracks for like 1 week. You know, when that experience, you go to the barrack, you got any Nigerian barrack around Nigeria, you're in a different community. And that community is nothing like what you know. It's nothing like what you know. When like kind of block magagia, you know, block magagia, they will come and they will just rant, and you know, you can't even keep your family there. You know, for people with a young family, you don't even want to keep your family there. Then Yesheba, you know, we are talking of delayed gratification. Yes, delayed gratification. You can go into the military, like my brother Kuru. You know, the Nigerian military or but they are more of anti-growth. You know, the military should be like a vehicle for you, like any recruit. During recruitment, they have threatsmen and non-threatsmen. By the time you get by, go take a shame, miss everything. You don't even know where you belong. People are like statutory promotion. You don't even know when the promotion. Imagine my person sign off on your promotion or like you are just doing to be liked. You are not working for the law. You are working to be liked by your superiors. You know, so you make all these things. You know, even when you go on the street. Okay, you know, anọ m n'Aba mgbe osika nkwụ kpara ike akpọtara anyị ndị amị n'Aba. At the end of the day, you have this society of people nwere ike nwee idea they want to join the army. Abịa wete ndị amị tiri ha na street. And over time, ndị amị ahụ aga from showing force, stopping the criminality, and regressing into joining. Like now, echi bido now before Oti abịa, because I know m since Oti. Before Oti abịa, mgbe this idiot last governor of Abia State. Ichiri mesa mmadụ trouble, gị hapụ police go sioma ga kpọrọ onye amị. You know? Gị chiri pụta na junction ụlọ gị nawa ndị keke ego. Gị just chọọ ofu onye amị dese by the side. You know, no respect, no like that respect. And a cook here before everybody wants to join because of that respect is gone. The delayed gratification, what is the delayed gratification at this point? At 10 years, we are looking at having a quarter of our people there. How do we support those our people there? Because if we are looking at the system I'm currently to support those people, it's just a wishful thinking. It's not going to work. Even people know even commissioned officers. Or Dere Hinzi. Ihe Jirika, when Ihe Jirika was the chief of army staff, you need to go to Isukwata and see what he did there. He went to Isukwata, you know, Nugudia in the hill there, and he built that barracks there. Even towards the completion of that barracks was Mbe Good Luck Oporo, Ihe Jirika Apo. That was how that project, you know, just thought. I'm whether they have soldiers there again, but I know at some point, immediately Buhari Batara, that project completely stopped. You know, then my uncle, Bishop of Isukwata, then we're just moving him from Owerri to Isukwata then. The
The
project
barrack
completely stopped.
dysfunctional now. The barrack dysfunctional now.
Oh, called the functional now. Well, good. But I know at some point, immediately Buhari entered, the project there completely stopped then because now no good then. Now at Isukwata Girls School something, I will now no good there now how the project and you know how far it's gone. So it is a deliberate, they were a deliberate attempt from then, from before now, Ndị Igbo enweghị interest in the military. How did Ohafia Barak die? Ohafia Barak, a lot she wouldn't know the whole soldier from just one barrack Toga to Ekumog, and that barrack completely like that, died down, dissolved. Right now, Mama populate LA or anything, but at some point it was completely died. The ecosystem around that barracks completely died. So when we're talking of one agenda to have our people in various places at various quotas, we have to think about the individuals. I want but we are not in the Ayaga squat or no mother. 10 people in the same house because now we don't do that. We try to be independent of thought and do our things, do things that work for us. We're in a chia, work away independently. And if we're looking at having these quotas in the future, we should also look at how to support these systems. I want to hear my brother, Bitcoin Chief Noneku, the last time I went a meeting, he also say sometimes you have to look at soft power. Things see give some power, soft power that you don't really have to benefit from it. Until a time we come to a time where I get alone as Igbo people, and some things are not really for us to benefit from, but to get soft power, like the soft power when we're in Nollywood, like the soft power in Dugu and Army. Don't care how we get soft power or big power. But if we're looking to obtain these powers from all these places, we should also look at a way I get just support these areas actually with the powers. Like I said, a good example, even Obodo Obola, it's not the Jew, and they be in the same community. And then WhatsApp group, you were a Jew, no problem. And when I'm a Jew friend, don't have a problem by organ a Jew WhatsApp group or a Jew lawyer. You get in Australia, one patala. Get your Jew police, get your here. They do it strategically. They support people strategically. They support themselves strategically, and leave the gains, but hold on to the intangible gains of the soft power we are talking about. So I lay this way, we might be able to obtain it. It's obtainable, but the system I know is a system that is literally forged against our people. But as time goes on, our people will see more reason to join. But if there any reason to join now? Is there any reason, any incentive? There is no incentive at even for commissioned officers. There is no incentive at all. There is no incentive at all. But I know as a community and looking at supporting our people decided to join, to push them to have that quota, we might be able to do it. And that's something they are attainable. Thank you so much, okay? Thank you, my brother. Uche, with the mic, let me leave it for now.
Okay, I don't know. Deep Sky. Deep Sky, you here? Okay, one voice, you have the mic.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Ms. Uche, I appreciate your effort in this space. You're really trying. But I think before we see how we talk to our people, I think the area that we need to point out is what really caused this sudden change of mind. How did our people start turning against joining this military all of a sudden? So many things must have happened along the line. I have heard so many complaints where people say that they go to exam, enroll for Defense Academy, and at the end of the day, they won't be enrolled. Why other people will be enrolled? What are the issues? And if you look at it here, it's not that the people that wrote that exam didn't make it. In fact, by looking at it, we see that those people performed exceptionally better than the rest of the people that was eventually, or that we eventually get admission into the academy. But I think all these things started after the Biafran War. And how do we go about it? How do we correct it? To me personally, the only way to get about it is to talk to our leaders from the Southeast, those people representing us. We need to, because they're only people that can help us now. The only people that can help us now. Because I cannot see the issue where someone will write entrance exam to be enrolled into the Defense Academy for 4 or 5 years. So many reasons best known to them. So these are the issues that we need to take care of. Though by me looking at so many things, like personally, I won't even encourage anybody to enroll into the Nigerian Army for so many reasons. The welfare is nothing to write home about. The treatment. So many of my friends have joined. Like I have lost up to 3 people within 2-3 years now. There's so many horrible stories. So it's not a good lesson, but it's not something that we should be looking at. What we should be looking at now is the way forward. How do we help our people? How do we get out of this? Because it's something that has happened, that has been happening. It's not even the issue of IPOB or IPOB or something. Because even before the IPOB started making their noise and all that, there has always been this negative attitude towards our Igbo brother joining the military because of the treatment they get and how they are being treated out there. So I think, Mr. Uche, you can help us. Seriously, we need to engage our leaders from the Southeast. They need to help us. Yes. Who are those people in charge of this academy? Why is it that our brothers are not being enrolled? Why is it that after taking an exam with their mates, their mates will be taken from the other side of the country, then they want from the Southeast, to be precise, to be sidelined for reasons best known to them. So these are the issues that we critically need to tackle. Seriously, it's very, very urgent because if you don't tackle it, years to come, it's going to be a very bitter taste for us as we're currently facing now. God will help us. I yield my mic here. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know who's supposed to speak next. Is it Debrechi or Isquato? If it's Isquato, you have the mic.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. The topic of discussion here is very interesting. It's an interesting one. But then, like the last speaker just said, we find it difficult most times to look at the foundation of issues. There is nothing that started today or that is happening today that we never saw that it would happen. Nigeria started degrading. Nigeria started going down so many years ago. There has never been any issue since 1960 that has been solved. Not one. There was never any attempt to reconcile the different units, the different ethnic groups that made up the country. No attempt. There was never any effort to unite the country. No attempt was made. There was never any effort to derive a vision for this country. No attempt was made. The only attempt that was made, and they keep making, is to ensure that these political elites recruited from each ethnic group continue to be in charge of the resources of everyone, continue to make policies that will either mar or take everybody out. They continue to make sure that they're in charge. All the policies that they have made over the years is for them to continue to be in charge. Now, those things, those policies that they made for themselves are what have brought us to this level. I have a whole lot of information to myself, and I know exactly what is going on. Most of the times when I read some of the tweets and all that, I just shake my head and walk away, because the things I see, the things I read, I wonder where this information is just coming from. Is it just from the heart, or we just want to talk? There are so many things we are not privy to. There are so many things we are not aware of. We don't know that there is this plan, there is this unseen hand to ensure that non-entities are in charge of Southeast. Maybe we've not seen it. Maybe we've not noticed it. Maybe we've not come to realize that for this country to move forward, for this country to continue to benefit the political elites, that they must ensure that leaders like Lemura Konuche will be in charge of Southeast. People who don't care for Southeast should be in charge of Southeast. That is the reason. And as long as this kind of leadership continues, nobody has time. In Imo State, who has time for? Who time? Who even wants to know who is governing Imo? Nobody has that time. Everybody is marking time. About 8 years, you go, come and go. Life continues. Nobody has time. People pay attention to what is going on in Abia. Not really because he's Angel Gabriel, but because he's people oriented. In my village, a boy I grew up with, his father retired, died in the service in Abia State. My father took up the task to give them, bring all his, get his things registered in the civil service so that he could get his remunerations. This boy used his father's pension to go to school, finish up in Abia Poly. Finished in Abia Poly, did all manner of jobs, was in charge of a whole lot of things in Aba. All of a sudden, he found himself in the military. Nobody knew how it happened. Nobody knew. Bam, he was in Borno. Only son, I'm telling you. He was in Borno. Ogin Prosper, what is going on? We are working. Once in a while, he would just come back. My dad just loved it. Just wore that his military, whatever, burst into my heart. My dad was so happy. Everybody was happy, celebrating him. Now, we needed to go to Beduguri to bring him back home. Not alive. Gone. I remember that the sister was on the road by 12 midnight, still on the road heading towards Borno. That same year, 2 other persons in the same community, we lost them. In fact, the last thing that will happen in my community right now is that anybody went into military. It's even an announcement. It's like MLA announced. It's a town crying thing. If you don't see what is on ground, how do you know? I can't even teach my children there is an arm of government that is called military. I can't try that. Nobody wants to recognize it. Not that they are not doing their job. Of course they are. But you see these feelings all around. You can't do away with it in the next 20 years. The only thing that will take it away from the atmosphere, Eastern atmosphere, is purposeful leadership. And a leadership that says that we are part of the nation. Simple. That is when people will have interest. And when you establish the truth and merit, people will have interest. Don't people want to shoot? Or do they not have interest in this? Leave IPOB out of this matter. A whole lot is happening. Everybody wants to blame IPOB. Is it IPOB? Why can't the governors even talk about them? It is only on Twitter every minute, this. Whereas the governors, all of them, their mouths closed. The man that is even with the IPOB is right there in Abuja with the government, yet they cannot jail him. We are here. It's a purposeful leadership. Everything in this country starts in Abuja and ends in Abuja. Nobody does otherwise. If there is any issue in the South, it is about burn down the entire village. If that same thing happens in the North, we start playing diplomacy. It's diplomacy. How can someone hear these things? How can parents read these things? You still want them to encourage their children to join army? Nah, unu ko kwana akụkọ ọzọ. Go na akụkọ ọzọ abeg. Although onye chọrọ ịmụ nwa, how can you give birth to a child and then you lose him just like that? There is no security. Do you even know how much they are being paid? Even that is even the annoying part of it. How do I risk myself for a 70 to 100,000 naira deal? It is better for me to stay in area and push wheelbarrow. That is the mindset of these people. That is the level of thought process in the whole of Southeast. Nobody has that time. All everybody wants to be is to live his life, enjoy his life, and move on. If you think that you can start up a crusade to bring families to join, allow families, you are going to meet vulnerable families. These are the people you are going to see. And if you meet a vulnerable person, you are able to recruit a vulnerable person into joining something like this. What we should be talking about is how do we become part of this system? How do we become part of the nation? How can this nation respect the Southeast? It is only when we all come on the platter of justice that every ethnic group decides to respect each other. That is when I can be proud to say, I want to join, or my kids can join. But as long as it's this way, I do not think anybody can join military. Let them continue to join the military. Allow them to be in the military. Now, when you live, you see, one thing I learned in sociology is there is something is called social injustice. You cannot run away from it. As long as you maintain social injustice, it will come back to haunt you. It is period. Look at PDP. All of us in the Southeast, we were in love with PDP. The only time they had to establish their justice, they decided to choose social injustice. And now the whole PDP is scattered. As long as Nigeria continues to play a social injustice on the Southeast, I know where I know. Thank you. I yield my mic.
Okay, thank you, Squadron. Okay, Lakonzo. Lakonzo.
Oh yeah, thank you. Hi. Sorry. Thank you, Uche. Thank you, guys. I really don't want to hog anybody's time, but I know a lot of folks might not be overly comfortable with what I got to say, but I was listening, and at some point, I really became, quite amused. Like I've said it repeatedly. I don't know more meaning Dugung and all. I don't understand, but I grew up in the north, and enwere ihe dị iche anyị na ndị ugwu, right? Primarily. And someone agree with me now about the way we treat life and the way we celebrate life and the way we nurture life and the way we hold on to memory and the respect, we have for life. And some of it actually borders on sentiment, right? And let me just say something. I lost my mom 2019 December, came home for Christmas. 2 days later, she passed. She was staying with us before she left to Europe prior. I went back to Nigeria, but then she died 2019. And 2022, September, I lost my only brother, my younger brother. He passed. And 2023, I lost my dad. So I was pained as a human being that lost loved ones. So I want to underscore this. I want to establish that I'm human first. Now, um, just a few days ago, I think something happened in the Hudson River, New York. A guy, I believe the last name is Escobar, he was apparently one of the CEOs of Siemens Engineering. And this guy was involved in unfortunate helicopter accident. His wife, who was celebrating her 40th birthday, and his 3 lovely children, very young kids, after taking a photo, looking happy and just, quite looking forward to, a wonderful future. A few minutes later, they all perished in the Hudson River, along with the Navy veteran helicopter pilots. They died. And what did that do? It essentially wiped away a lifeline or a bloodline or a lineage, at least coming from these guys, um, um, you know, um, genealogy or whatever you might call it, primarily. Yes, he has a brother, but him and the boy, we want, why? If your wife doesn't have a son, it's a problem. You have to. Maybe I know some folks here, they run back home and they finagalize and do some crookery movement and they impregnate a woman. So I'm trying also to establish that yes, we value life, and for us, which is a good thing. It's admirable, It makes us somewhat exceptional. And if you see what I wrote in the timeline, I mentioned uh, Umunna and the Jews, Umunna and the Arewa, and Hausa. I said, why not borrow from their model? And somebody I've listened for quite a bit. Even when I was in the office, I was listening. And my point is, Chama Sedong, I believe, was a song. I don't know. I'm not Chinese, so. But I think back in I was told this great guy, apparently back in 1950s or 60s, he made a famous quote. He said, "Power grows out of the barrel of a gun." And if you just look at the list of the Nigerian chief of military staffs from independence to date. And again, like I told someone earlier this morning when I was driving to the office, I was privileged to be in a different space, and I was very honest to them with everyone. I said, listen, apart from the 2023 election and maybe 2019, where I became partially involved, but primarily 2023, I have not been interested and I have not been engaged in the Nigerian, politics. So I might not even know. But again, let me dare ask this question. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm willing to learn. I hope I'm wrong. Other than the very first indigenous military chief of army staff, Yagun Ronsi, who was brutally murdered back in the days, and Ihejurika, whom I heard somebody mention of late. Do we have any other Igbo chief of military or army staff? Can somebody answer me? Just real quick.
Yes,
Because I need to know.
Azubike Ihejurika during the Goodluck Jonathan era.
Yeah, I mentioned him. I said him. And Agun Renzi, who else do we have?
I think those are the only two.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I really wished I was wrong, and I continue to wish even now that maybe somebody can come and say, oh, you're wrong. So why I'm saying that is, I want to make the point that prior to the unfortunate dislocation that happened to us with the war, the war put us in a highly disadvantageous, position in Nigerian political equation. But prior to that, we all can agree, and this is not about us, thumping our chest and high fiving ourselves, but it's just the fact of history that the Igbos were dominant uh, in Nigerian both politics and had a proportional representation in the military. Correct. Then after the war, things change, and there's a gap that needs to be filled. And due to the fact that now we have become poorly represented, underrepresented in the military, which as a third world nation, or developing economy or African, uh, state, we still subscribe to the use of force to get our way. Our governance hadn't been refined, and up till today, I dare say that it's still not refined. So everything the Arewa or the West have gotten, or even the Middle Belt has gotten, has been through that leverage of having a fair military representation. The Igbos have totally been abysmally represented in the military. Omunne, what I can say is this. Deacon, Abegun, if I were a young man, I did it actually, but that is a part of me that I don't want to share with anyone. Yanna yuno bu don Allah, don Anabi. Ina roka, ina yuna yoyo, Deacon. Do not discourage our young ones from getting into the military. We are very, very, I mean, very, very, I say it, very, and underscore very, endangered at this point in the Nigerian equation. And primarily because, like many have noted here, we lack the crop of political elites with the pedigree of the Mbakwes, the Nwobodos, the Akanobians, right? The Ojukus, the Mbanefos, name them, we no longer have those men available to us. OT is an outlier, okay? Right now, we cannot hinge our hope that some political messiah is going to come to save us. And we all know that what is going on, the craziness that has been going on, that have been going on in Alibo since 2000. When was that again? 2000. I was at home when the unknown government saga started. Which year again was that? I can't remember. But anyway, gosh, my head. So my point is this madness, from every indication, the actors have proven to us that they are not a viable option. So what do we do? Are we going to continue to say, oh, we are brilliantly exceptional people. We love life and we're going to cling and hold on to life? There is something called sacrifice. There is something called altruistic pursuit for the greater good, for the collective. I don't know, man. Oh, Obuson Ovunwaka, Ojereba or Nata. Hey, now when all this sentimental stuff is not going to help us. And fair enough, let's be realistic. Maybe it's not, fair for me to make that comparison, especially when you look at our Arewa brothers, because uno makwasi amumwa. Ya ugora na majiri can sponsor them. Kaja beyanami. Ekuguma ihemko dene aba senat na. Ya bude possible. ndị Jew na-abụ ndị India ebidogokwa ya kịta ọ na-abụ na obu onye bido something. I hope, in fact, they even at England. That's what I hear. People, the Jews, sorry, the Indians, name, now England, they go into the police force. They go into the military. The same thing about Obudai. Okay, Ndị be anyị one, let's be realistic. Let's ask ourselves this pertinent question. Ndị Igbo one ka ihu go na asị na ọ nọ police in America. Army. Forget army because in Kano na na-achọ ka abịa nweta paper. That's the truth. But mmadụ one ka ịhụ asị na ọ nọ police in America ma ọ na England. Ya na-achọ ebe anyị eje nwee ego mbute. Nobody is reasoning as in terms of visionary, being, futuristic in their mindset. Everything I know to on why. Well, I know why we're shrinking ourselves collectively, and then we're enlarging ourselves individually. Independence can't take America. Independence of America. But at the end of the day, you have to have a larger structure to sustain you. No matter the game, if you do not have the instrument to protect your investment, it's foolishness. MKO Abiola, how did he end? All right. Alam Moxima Wachari, how did he, who go here and make it? So, Abeguna. Forget we cannot hold on to that pride in we listen, it's not working. It's not working. We have to reimagine the future. Remember, we're either what is the future that we are going to bequeath to them? If we are not ready to sacrifice today, to strategize with a model that is going to help us have a fair shake in that country. That's all I'm asking us to do. Even going to Corona, going to what's up? And we're a lot of men, a lot of folks that have the wherewithal. I can even contribute my own. Even I want a grand project, even and buy an army. Only the here and I come to the history. I'm my personal experience. If I tell you my personal experience, without a doubt, or that has my personal experience, it was a more of a little bit of an elitist experience, but it was painful because only married. You put me in my place. Now I'm on you. And in fact, Yabon Putara, Makachuku, Yabon Nankano, Nigeria, my dear, I don't know. I just don't know. That's just the truth. So it pains me. But that is wrong. It is absolutely wrong and flawed. So now come with you. Thank you.
Can I rebut this, please?
Yeah. You if you want to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, EMJ now. Emma, just as you said, Okuga Maka, I'm not this is not to antagonize you or anything. Okuga Maka like Okugi Kwato. Actually, regarding this, we have, like you said, the collective goal. There should be a collective goal, and because there is no collective goal, we are more of individuality, and like we know, individual wealth doesn't make up for community failure. Sorry, my voice in a shake, and on my side, and Oyede. Regarding, who onye ka ọ ga-awụ, onye ka a ga-ediga, the one who say who is going to bear the cat, onye ka a ga-ediga ka ọ gaa amị, gaa represent anyị, gaa nọdụ na quota, and n'ime onye ka a ga-ediga ahụ, like when I said earlier, I said about if we're looking at it as a collective goal, why don't we have a collective funding or a collective support? It's good that we have our quota, that we meet our quota, that our people is well represented in every part. But considering the present situation now in Nigeria, how do we, as a people, we made mention of the Jews, how to the Jews, Geshibakota, help all their people secretly in every parastatal how their people. Like you go even in companies, even in private companies, get asking here kosher. Get guy in kosher aisle, in kosher this, kosher that. How do we collectively sponsor our people, knowing well that it happy individually for people to go there, to go into this Nigerian army, and there is no single incentive, even on an overall level, there's no single incentive for it. How do we make sure that we carry everybody along in that aspect? Can I meet with those quotas and meet also those people's individual needs?
Thank you. So Nanya, my brother, you have a very simple, but then it takes it's a process, right? I brought here just by wishful thinking. But in our Jamona ending, we have the resources. We have the human resources. Are you kidding me? I don't miss it now. Ibiaba. Ijo on a chaketa. I have got so nine need a head bridge. Ijaba. Okay. Ije ngwa road na abaka we ije area na dia. Iya ho ya go na obu ndi obu. Ndị a na-eje amị ndị Hausa na itie na you know na anya kan gwa gezi okwu. The people na-eje NDA like oh no okay. The people na-eje NDA bụ the elite. Ndị ụmụ sultan na ụmụ emirs all ha na-eje NDA. And then maybe their cousins or their second cousins or what have you. But the rank and file in the non-commissioned NCOs, handchable, you just grab them anywhere. Well, and they wanted, like you said. Listen, yeah, but when you give uh, hope for the hopeless, okay, and you show that yes, you are committed to their cause, you are consistently engaged with them, it makes a huge difference. Yeah, but like more, I wrote a Morgan the announcer. I remember I was growing up then, but I'm even though you move some of their elder, Yeah, but now some of them were living in flats, but they are not paying for it. All right? Case where I don't know, but I know they cannot afford to pay for them. How now I mention, all this kiki. Passing or guy here, they will no. This kiki, who is paying for it? Because Nanya, like I said, they buy it's a beautiful thing and it's gotten us it's earned some mileage for us as a people. Okay. But we have to rethink, we have to reimagine the future. Okay, because here we change we go get that. But
Yeah.
not quite called it before.
So
And what I'm saying about
basically,
when we get this
sorry,
man,
go on.
this go no, when we get this young man, like you're saying, right? We have non-governmental actors, men and women of means. You might know what you're doing for our either community. You're when the buy in the well, we do some there's some here. So nobody here, man. You might know this is what just like if we just let me give you an example. Have you heard of the Zionist movement? Walk. And it's nothing diabolical about them. People want to misconstrue and misinterpret what they do. But what they do, based on the experience, the Halloween experience they suffered during the World Wars, the Halloween experience they suffered when they were in places that they weren't welcomed. And so they needed to preserve themselves. And they decided to do what they are doing in the name of that. So there are models that we can copy from. About the government of Israel has sponsored there. Come on. And the nine and they buy Ayman and Galaba. And we have done well. A lot of us have done very, very well. But here now, you see now, can we more for community? Let's have a community and self-preservation mindset. Let's pivot away from that individualism that has actually ended some mileage. In the head, I make it. I think that was in the morning when I was in a different space. Somebody said, "Yeah, I said, what you name it?" Now, after all, the guy that now he's not one Nigerian kind of guy. That's in Ayatollah. Now, are you sure he's not setting the stage for them to leave? And each and have one here. They have their way, and I bear him and by I don't want to overflow this, but you know what I'm saying. I know they sometimes emotionally charged, and when we say what we want to do, and but they have in my capacity, man, and hang with and they hang with the people in the government, hang with the stake, hang with fair representation, both military and everywhere. So I beg, it's time for us to really give this a serious thought. And it's sad that we're going to say this, but is it going to go anywhere? I don't know. But this is just my 2 cents.
I am just itching to come in. I am itching to like.
Oh, hold on. There's a
Okay.
DM. I'm going to judge to see what if this is a trap. Actually, trap Umuyibo.
Okay, good. And have I thought of that? I'm a very cynical person. Let me tell you the truth. Okay, so have I thought of that? Yes. And then you know, beginning. And we can say, man, even when they are not there, because listen, and we'll go get your women say, yeah, are they doing this? Nande Baya Bata? They frustrate them to get them away. And the only get they as humble and they might even over say, if you want to build your career, if you are in corporate, you assume work is so that you get where you need to be. Otherwise, you'll become a pariah. So, they buy to survive in Nami, I know Nami Obudaya, Nami Nigeria. And why you say you have to be as benign and like you can hurt a fly. That's the kind of my approach. So, ndị aha kịta enwere nke yiri ebe na-ajọ nwa m na ọ na-abụzi na mgbadu ruo ebe o yi eru they
Nwanne
set them
ọnwụ
up
ebe a ya na-eme ha
to
abanye amị ha ebido sụwa n'ugwu n'ugwu. Ile ka nwa gị as somebody being
n'anya
as somebody
listen
being
listen
a barak
listen
before for you to get to
Ma-
certain places like you said ị ga-adị completely self-denying. Ị ga-awụ
Mhm.
literally unless me were like
ihe ala agba
some powers that
nwanne
are backing you that ga-eme gị but
nwanne n'anya a sị na iwu ya a sị na ya bụ na iwe ka esi ekwu ya bụ na iwe egbe ihe ikpere kasị n'oge ya ha nghọtara or something. So ndị obodo a na-akpọ ya code switching. There's a way you approach life in different situations and different environments. And the Marago that you are at it's like a hostile, territory or a suspect territory. So you have to act in a way that conforms. Otherwise, you might go, So,
something e kwuru before that I totally agree with. I totally completely agree with that. Our people they are too much focus on individual wealth. Forgetting the communal exploits we could do as a people together. And to be frank with you, all these things goes back to soft power. All na somebody, you come in a community, you're able to take up 10 people, train them, push them into several, like in a way, like a collective, like you talked about the Zionist movement, is a collective goal of most Jews. It's a collective goal. So, and everybody with that collective goal, no matter what happens, they have that collective goal. So, what is the collective goal? Anywhere you are, you live as a community. You push your people into strong parastatals. You push your people into, every organization, and you don't have to declare it. If you raise 20 people, and be part of a bigger picture. Anytime you're called upon, you know how to represent. But You know, that got too much into the discussion. Now we might distort or try to demean the already established discussions I were already about our people moving away from individuality and trying to carry everybody along. Kaima and I were a social threat. I were a very big threat that will affect every one of us into the generation, and look at how to build strategically and position ourselves and our people in places. Anytime you're called upon, you always have someone in this place and that place. Like I told you, anytime a Jew guy with a problem, or a WhatsApp number, so we should look at things from that lens. Thank you. Sweet Angel, take on.
Okay, Chekube is supposed to go next. Then we'll go to is it okay, Bobo then CIA?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, everything people have said in this platform is not. There is absolutely nothing new to me, because having grown up in a military family, and also having been in the maritime academy, everything here is not new to me. But it's very, very unfortunate that our people are still clothed with emotions in 2025. Our emotion does not solve problem. When you look into things, you look at it as an elder, you look at it as intelligent person, smart person, you look at it deeply. Our life and properties is not secured by strangers. Every day I see numbers of our youth on this app, telling these people, these people hurt us, and this is true. All right, the hurt is real, and we can all say it. But the same time, we want these people that hurt us to protect us. Does it make sense? No, doesn't make sense. We know Nigeria is agencies, security agents are not being paid well. But how long will we continue to join different platforms regarding things that has to do with the Southeast, particularly? I have said several times that there is a lot of leaders we have in the Southeast which we have over the years, look away, and they just continue making our way with our things that are supposed to come to us. So we have various people from different constituencies nationally. Some slot come people. Nobody has them. How? Some even say they are for small money and make. I will not know, as in nobody, because our brothers are heartless. Our brothers are wicked. Just like somebody said here, we're always thinking about ourselves. This is the problem. You can't continue complaining. There are so many countries in the world that fought each other, are still living as a nation till today. You can't continue. Now we are talking about Nigerian army. Nobody is forcing anybody to join Nigerian army. Joining a military, in fact, joining military is a will. It's a decision, personal decision. Nobody will decide it for you. But shouldn't discourage others who want to join. Several communities that are being attacked by herdsmen, if they have at least 15 soldiers in that community, these guys on a platform will know how to solve their issues secretly without coming online on video, wherever. They know how to muster courage because they were trained. So somebody come, you say one thing, you just emotions. Our boys in the East now, our boys in the villages are joining different criminal organizations, different criminal people masquerading as freedom fighter, killing our own people. My friend, a very good friend of mine, his father died. This is somebody who lives in the village, just an ordinary weather. He doesn't have anything on his hand or attached to his name. He's just a guy hustling, an everyday guy trying to survive. His father died, and some set of people in the village came to family house with gun that he must pay them money for allowing him to bury his own father. These are not strangers. These are our people. If these boys have used that braveness they have to join the military, they won't be doing that. We are just so emotional. We just talk. Nobody want to look back. Why are we like this? Why? Our youth are being dying every day. Our youth are joined because let me tell you, every Igbo man have a scare of war on him. That's why anybody can fall out from anywhere, manipulate our people. Our people will even donate money and give the person because they believe that Nigeria is not for them due to the way we've been treated over the years. But how long are we going to continue like in this way? How are we going to continue doing this? Somebody will travel abroad with Nigerian passport. He will sit abroad discouraging our people not to take place in paramilitary agencies. Let me tell you this. If you like, take it or leave it. Paramilitary agencies in Nigeria, to be honest, does not favor any particular person or tribe. It's based on connection. Wherever you see opportunity as on Igbo in Nigeria, go and apply. If you are interested, nobody is forcing you. But if you are interested, go out and apply. Don't say, oh, I'm Igbo man, they will reject. No, go. I believe me in person, I believe yes or no. I will go to that place. Either you reject me or you accept me. And if you reject me, it's not the end of life. Go. Push yourself. Don't go and sit down and say, hey, I'm Igbo man. If I go there, we'll reject. No. Go first. We are Nigerian. We just have to know this. Know this and know peace. And as long as Nigeria is still existing, we are Nigerian. And every opportunity that comes into Nigeria, our people should take part of it. So you are not saying, oh, because of we have experience. All of us have experience. Because of this experience, our people ignore taking part in the military entirely, and then we allow the same people you call enemy every day to protect us. How about now? Why are we like this? We can't be thinking about emotion. Everything is not about emotion. When you think, you rethink. Because if you don't think, you stink. The future of our people, we are talking about it here now. And as we are youth now, we are the leader or future of of our people, representative of our people. And somebody is just emotion. Just emotion. You are being hated. Just emotion. Let me tell you, if somebody hurt me, if you are my neighbor and you hurt me, I know you hurt me. I won't let you know that you hurt me. I won't make you know, because when you know that you hurt, when you see me crying, see me sobering because you hurt me, that is a weakness. You already know my weakness. So I believe that every Igbo child has opportunity to always try like other fellow Nigerian. That's just it. So let us please. The girl that went to NDA, that was later NDA later sent her to British Academy, become the first Nigeria soldier ever go to that academy. It's an Igbo girl, Olushi. Igbo people are doing well. I went to Maritime Academy. On my personal parade, we are many of Igbo, many in Enugu State, many. Even my Oga, the people that passed out before us, majority of them are Igbo, majority. So what are you saying? Our people should take opportunity they see. I am not preaching to anybody, oh, come on. No, I am telling you, if you are willing, if you desire to join, go. Don't relent. Instead of them being in the village, joining courts, joining or common activities, being labeled criminals and killed, is it not better they join security agencies? Every day, our people come to a space. They are talking about how we're being hated. For how long are we going to continue talking about this? Before the war, before Biafran war, our people control every sector in Nigeria government. Every sector. That is the reason why we were provoked. They lead to war. The war is to clear, to wipe us at the surface of the earth. I have watched prominent Nigerian leaders back in 50s, in 30s. All their comments is always Igbos are dominating. And that's the reason of the war, to wipe us out. And after that war, our people who dominate the government now see Nigeria as their enemy. Now, the mindset now go back. Nobody is interested in anything about the government. This is the result today. If you go to federal parastatal today, after the war, our people will abandon the military, paramilitary, government agency. People, the North and West dominate everywhere. And this is 2025. We are here to right the wrong. Since they force us to be in Nigeria, we are Nigerian. And we must take part in every opportunity that comes out in Nigeria. If you reject us, we will voice out. We have people representing us. We have people in the Senate. We have these people they are criminals. All these years, things are coming in our very constituency, but who are those ones eating those things? Things are coming. Go and make your research. Search the person representing you in the National Assembly. Make your research. For one time ago, when I went after my study, I decided to join the Nigerian immigration. I found out that those people in the National Assembly are being given slots for their own people. Well, how do I find that? You know, a guy from Nasarawa, their representative bring at least, I think it's about 5 or 10, give to their people. The guy told me, because I was trying to contact Admira. I have somebody Admira in my community. There is no form of senior officer I don't have in my community in Anambra. I say, the guy told me, say, hey, listen, Admira cannot do much thing for you. Admira can only make call, try to beg his friends who has in the high rank in the immigration. But let me tell you the easier way. Contact your representative in the House of Assembly. Now from there, they approve how many people to train. Contact him. Beg him. He must have something to tell you. That is when I know things are going on there. Our people in leaders in the East has not been fair to us. Let's be honest to ourselves. We have governor. Look at Abia State. What happened in Abia State today? After 24 years of criminals squeezing a life out of the whole state. So if you are coming online and telling people, oh, don't join, you don't know what you are saying. You totally have no idea of what you are saying. I have 3 friends after my secondary school in 2011. 3 friends. I have opportunity to got admission into Maritime Academy, and one of them had opportunity to join the Nigeria Air Force. One of them who did not join anyone at all, who is in the village, has been killed last year. What happened to him? He go Ogara buru igbe, join Umuazia ka ha gbaba ndị amị egbe. See, common sense is not common. Common sense is not common. Onye ọbụla nọ n'ebe a mana Nigeria adịrọ fair to us, but we cannot be enemy of ourselves. Esi na ndị be anyị ajọ nọ n'amị because na na-eme aja egbuo ha, ọ dịara ha fe, ndị ugwu na ndị ofe mmanụ na dominate everywhere. O ruo echi ha abịaziela be anyị na-agba python dance, jiri ụmụ nwaanyị ndị be anyị lakwa ha iko because ha nọ the whole levels. Na na-echekwa na ihe eche, onye na-ekwukwa ọla ekwu, onye na-echekwukwa, onye na-enyekwa advice, ọ na-echekwa eche ihe ọ na-ekwu. Bụrụkwa onye pụta because of emotion. Enwere ike plan ndị be anyị je ka egbusi ya nga na-akọ ụlọ akụ, onye na-ekwukwa okwu, ọ na-echekwa echiche wee ihe ọ na-ekwu. Ọ bụrụ ebe last year, one of our brother kpọọ m and somebody mụkwa sokwa ekwu okwu na community, contact ya m. Ana m Abuja of that time, sị m mụ biko m kpọtasịara ụmụaka be anyị ndị chọrọ ijoin Army, Navy, Air Force, m kpọtasịa ha ka ati ha ka ehepụ amara ka esi ya agha, mana ọsị m mana the people ji abụlarị ndị be anyị. Ọ bụgodị na onye ahụ esiela community anyị mana anyị bụrụ onye Igbo. Onye na-agba m okwu abụ senior man, gọdọgọdọ senior man. Akpọ m ụmụaka be anyị ndị mkpọrọ ha sị m ehe na ọnwụ ya na-eme na nke some in Nigeria don't cast. There is nothing called Nigeria again. They are going to declare Biafra government. They are declare another nation. Honestly speaking, 3 of them out of these guys now, 3 of them are Ungo as I'm talking to you now. Ha gara join on ndị ike ga-agbawa egbe. anọkwala space ebe week ago ana m ekwukwa this thing one guy asị m mmechọrọ mgbe mmadụ jiri join amị ọ dịrọ gị na mmadụ nwere ike ijoin nke gbawa ewe legodo eche ụmụaka bụ anyị leche in 2025 being a soldier in any nature there is a lot of assets to give you. Let's be honest to ourselves. I am not talking about the benefit the salary but in the kukwabu chekwa na echiche n'ihe unu na-ekwukwa. Think one very deep. Onye kwukwu okwu wepụkwa emotion, keep emotion aside. Chekwa echiche n'ihe unu advice unu na-enyekwa. Because imechakwa ya ndị ugwu na ndị obodo a, especially ndị obodo a, anyị echara ndị ugwu bụ ahụ ma ndị obodo a ihe anyị eme anyị akwụ ihe anyị aka akọ. Ịjụ onwe during the war, ka ihe mere during the war ndị be anyị jiri face Nigeria for 3 years. Ọ kwụwa because of ndị be anyị jiri na military. Ka ọ ishirela most of ndị be anyị niile ahụ lụrụ ọgụ ahụ mgbe na ọ bụ that week ga-etere na ha ncha niile abụrụ ha soja wee bịala ha ndụ ibe. Ka ishirela ọka o siri wee mee. My dad nọ bụ ezigbote senior man na Nigerian Army. Mana ọ rijetere Nigeria bịa join nọ nke ndị be anyị soro ndị be anyị lụọ ọgụ. Ndị be anyị many of our people nọ na ya karịrị akarị. Ishirela ọ bụla ha dị ajọ ha belong into this thing that and ha muster courage stand on Nigeria for 3 years. Ka ishirela ndị ele eme social media content creator na-asị gị na Anambra woman bụ simple na they discuss maka ike nwaanyị chelo ha ya stand the for 3 years. Ka ichere na ọ bụla ha enwe knowledge and training ha stand the way jiri aka ha ndị jiri aka ha rụọ igwe buruje agha ichere ọ dị izi. Mmadụ apụta na-asị hey they will kill Igbo, you don't do this, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying. You don't follow our people. Obula number. Yes, I'm running up. Obula number for our people. Let me tell you one thing many of you don't know. Obula number of our youth belong to the military and paramilitary in Nigeria. Believe me, the numbers of miscreants masquerading in the East will dramatically reduced. If you like, take it or leave it. Because they say an idle man is a devil workshop. Anyone no go dey in touch with the community. My phenomenal community. So come on, Mazia, no kwala village, le gwarekwa egbe. Na yende ba inso. Every market day, asinde ụmụ ba ejela ahịa. Je chọ ihe a ga-eri. Anọ n'ime ụlọ suru ala, agụwa na-agụ our mothers, our fathers, anọ ha n'ime ụlọ. Maka ha pụta iro agba eje ha egbutuo ha nkwụ n'ọrụ onwe egbuchi iro egbutuo ha ụkwa egbuchi iro egbutuo nke egbuchi iro ndị ba ya ata afụfụ. Onwe the means of driving my mother jere nwe na village but she cannot drive anything maka iro ile the block. Ọya aka mma ọya aka na mma onye ọbụla ikpe adụ ka ọ dụọ onwe ya ọdụ. Ndị ba sị na atụrụ ọmara atụrụ ofe ka ofe ka isi l'ọhịa. Ihe niile dụrụ ụwa abụ emotion. As an Igbo man, you cannot continue saying Nigeria hates you. Don't do that. Let them go to hell with their head. We need to come back home. You need to come home and bring home the glory. Starting from our PG. And I believe that every community in Southeast have PG. I have our PG to local government, to governor, to representative, to senators. Come home and hold them accountable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Baba, you have the mic.
Sorry, let me skip to the next person. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. My kid is giving me issues right now.
Okay, just raise your hand so that I will know. CIA, you have the mic.
Okay, and thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, every person from. We don't run your ever because anyone that has spoke well. On the channel, when you're on the channel, no, I'm so very happy. The last speaker and second to the last speaker that spoke. I'm so happy to hear your input. It's very good because emotion have killed us and taken away the sense of our the sense of our understanding so badly that emotion has taken control. We no more think as a Igbo person that we are. We think out of emotion, everything. To join the military and other security agencies in Nigeria, supposed to be what we should be talking now. They are talking it now, but fear of this threat that we have been getting from since how many years now? So let's say 7 years now, from Nnamdi Kanu IPOB and other things and other Samuel Bandanko, even showcasing that any military or police person that's Igbo, they kill them at instant, have done a lot of bad to our people. And this issue of Nigeria haters, it has gone a long way that we should leave all this thing and focus on ourselves. Because the same ourselves, if for example, if I'm a military, they send me to any part of Nigeria, east, to come and do operation, come and do work. I will not do the same like send me to the north, to be honest with you, or send me to the west. I will not do like that because I hear your language, you hear my language, I understand, you understand me. There's lengths I will go, there's lengths I will not go. I have my limit. There's things I have to use for, because of you're my brother, I can hear you clearly. I can sit down and speak to you, say, okay, neha, meyotua, ka happy otua, ka ijotua, if onye on a year more understanding. Manambronya Birabia, I may not have that time to speak to you in that manner or that long, or have that patience. So I support 100 million% of our people going back to security agencies in Nigeria, be military, navy, police, anything. If you heard what our brother said in Enugu State, like some people were here discouraging people not to join or that condition, whatever. And then there's another guy that spoke here. He told us the advantage that he had being a military, what he gives anywhere in the world. If not only that alone, even in Nigeria. There's advantages in all these things. We know now, yes, it's not rosy. Yes. Tomorrow is this, tomorrow may be another thing. Tomorrow, the difficulty we see today, the people of tomorrow may not see it on their own. It may be rosy tomorrow. Then we'll start complaining. Hey, that time it will change to that time. Nigeria did not take our people into military, while only less than 5,000 people from East the whole Igbo. We are not even. I mean, we are not even up to 1,000 in the military that are applying for this new recruitment. Tomorrow night, if the military is rosy, we'll be complaining. Now that it's difficult, why don't we join it? And so they're not suffering it. Still, they're enjoying. They're trooping in it. The West are suffering. They're still trooping. Even our neighbors, South, they're trooping in it. They're taking advantage of many that overtaking off in many things, and we keep quiet. We don't want to talk about it. Everything that happened, we keep quiet. We don't talk. We keep it. We'll sweep it under the carpet. It has killed us. Emotion have killed us to the extent that we missed many opportunities in Nigeria. Please, brothers and sisters, let's support, encourage anyone that wants to join any security force in Nigeria. Discouraging does not make anything, because tomorrow assignment will come. First of all, they will look for who will go there. If our own is not there to represent us, the person might be there at the head, maybe a wicked person, or even hate you for a reason, for no reason. I don't know, maybe somebody from my place had done something wrong to him or her. He or she will take it and all paint it among all the person that you know that is Igbo or whoever, or Europe or whatever. But if you or me is there, or one of our own is there, he or she will have limits. He will not do it even. He will not even try. He will not even dare. But if we are not there, no one to represent us, no one to talk to us. And secondly, let's acknowledge and appreciate those that in service, both our leaders. Let's appreciate them most times. Making them look like they are nothing or they can't do anything. Also discourage our people to do the same thing. Please, my people. For example, I'll give a very big example. the governor of Imo State, if you can see since this man been in office, things has not been going too well in Imo State. Reason being that many to travel out of Nigeria to go and look for investors, it's not easy for him because he has banned because of we have sold him out in different ways that he's done this, he's done that. Many countries have banned not to travel out of Nigeria. It's not him suffering it, it's Imo State is suffering this thing. He cannot go to America or Europe or anywhere to go and look for investors, come and invest in Imo State. We should know things we're supposed to talking to ourselves or saying to ourselves or say outside the world. We are not doing it America, see this America. America is not coming to help us for anything. Have it in mind. We are not worsen of the North. I have been there. We are not. But these people can never, no matter what the leader do, no matter they're trying, but they're not doing their best. They can never make their leader not to travel or make them not to have something to bring in, even the one they bring in. But the most important, even if whoever that we elect
Yeah,
him,
wait.
we
We are the
should
ones that made
always.
Opus Odima not able to travel to get him. What is this guy saying? God of mercy.
All right.
Am I going to listen to this?
I'm coming. Let me finish, please. Allow me to finish.
Somebody rigged himself into
Allow me
office.
to
You are
finish.
saying it's
I'm
the people
coming,
that
please.
made him.
Don't interrupt me, please.
Jesus fucking
Don't interrupt.
Christ.
I'm
Allow
trying to
him
say
to
something.
speak.
You're
Allow
talking
him to speak.
nonsense, bro.
I know I'm talking
Allow
on.
him to
Listen
What the
speak.
first.
fuck are you saying?
Allow
Then
him to
listen to me.
speak. Oh.
Listen.
Jesus Christ. Finish waiting.
Okay.
Finish
So
what?
as I was saying before,
Oh, man, this is
before
absolute
you
madness.
Bro,
rudely
bro,
interrupted me.
I am feeling the same way, but not let him finish. It is absolute bullshit. But let him finish.
No, reason why I touched that side is this. Let me tell you the reason why I touched that aspect of Imo State is this. Despite he ring himself in or not, he did not ring himself in. That's what you know. But the question is, this man. The reason being that we have complained, report him in different organizations, international community, and other things. He has many ban on him. You might not know. He has many ban on him, and many investors, because of insecurity in Imo State and some part of Anambra State, no investor would like to come to Imo State to invest. No one, even me, even you, and it will be difficult for you.
CIA,
And
do
that
you
is
know who
because
Uzodinma before he
the whole thing
became
is
governor?
flawed. You cannot steal your way
Do
into
you know?
power, lie
Do you
to the
know who
whole
Hope
society,
Uzodinma from
and
First
expect
Start? What
everybody.
are you saying? Do you
Listen,
know when Hope Uzodinma was banned from the United States? Don't come
whatever.
and do this. Don't come and do this here,
What
bro.
Okay,
You're not talking to the kids.
I'm not
non-conformist,
arguing
what you
with
are
you. I'm
doing is
saying
not
what I
right.
know.
You
I'm not
should allow
Jesus
him
arguing with
to
you.
Christ.
speak.
Whatever he
He has
did is his
freedom to
own.
speak.
Ekube Keregodi
I'm not
Biko, am I
arguing.
talking to
I'm
you?
not here
Allow
to
him to
argue. Please.
finish. Allow him. You can ask him
I'm not
question,
here to
please.
argue.
Okay, sorry. I don't
I'm
think
not here to argue.
CIA just try and round up, but I don't think that is the reason because
Let me focus
no,
on the issue of the matter
you know,
here.
it does. Let
So
me.
let's allow our people to be in security forces in Nigeria, and if you have anybody you can support financially, otherwisely, please kindly do. Don't allow what other people will say they don't get this or they don't get that to rein you down not to support anyone. Please. I think I'll submit for now. Who has any question?
Okay, CIA. Didn't you think it's because the whole world saw that Hope Uzodinma did not win an election from fourth to first. If you are an investor, wouldn't that scare you away from coming to invest with such kind of a person? I'm asking.
That is the question. He's not. If you're a thief, if you go to court declare you clean. They will not stone you to death. Okay? He has fought his way and he gets his way.
So
Is the
so
court
Well,
is not
it's
forcing.
logical. What CIA say is true, Sha. It's true.
Yeah,
If you look at it from that way, if
see,
you are a thief,
I
you
think so
come to
many
declare
of
you.
you. I think
Yeah.
you see the reason I interjected you is because I am from Imo State. Awumonyo Muma. Hope Uzodinma is from my village. Awumonyo Muma. So when you people come here and you say what you don't know,
No,
it
no. Let's
pisses
forget
me
about
off.
non-economist. He
Jekube,
cannot be
wait, let me
perfect.
tell you what
He
you don't
doesn't have
know.
the data of Imo State on his
Hope
brain. But
Uzodinma
what he
has
said now,
been banned from the
is
United
true.
States
Court
since the.
declare him
Listen, let me
winner.
tell you what you
So
don't know.
Chukwu, let's
Let
link
me
up after
tell
this,
you
please.
why Hope
But
I
Uzodinma
know the reason why.
cannot
I
go to
know
the
the reason
United
why
States.
Hope was.
Hope
Okay, go
Uzodinma
on.
is a 419er. He is a drug baron. He has been banned from so many countries in this world. No be because he become
Okwele
governor.
Holdings,
So
Maurice Ibekwe,
do not
Okwele
come
Holdings,
and say what
driver.
you do. You say that because do you know what you do? You know who Imo State people put in power? Do you know who Opuzodima is in Festac? Do you know Opuzodima is an ABB boy? What are you people talking about? You come and blame Nigerians in the Imo. That is because of us. Opuzodima cannot get investment
I
from
did not blame
abroad.
Indimo. Point of
When you
direction.
guys
I
were
did not
rigging him
blame
into
Indimo.
office,
Point of
didn't you
direction.
know
One
these were
now.
going to be
I
the
did not blame any
repercussions?
Imo. I did not blame anybody. I say
What did
us.
you
I did
say?
not call
You
anybody
don't know
now. I did
what you
not blame
said.
Indimo. I did not blame
Okay,
Indimo.
interpret what you said, please.
I did not say Indimo State stop him not to go anywhere. Hope Uzodinma in 2014, if it was 2014 or 2013, he was in America. If you can go and
As
check.
what?
I don't know what he went there for, but he said he was banned then, and then. Then you're talking about he was you call him
So
Maurice.
why
It was 2000.
you say he has not been able to attract investments? Can you tell us what you meant by that, please?
Meaning that this guy to travel out of Nigeria to go and try bring investment to Imo State is difficult. One
So
insecurity.
how is Alex Oti doing
One
it?
insecurity in Imo State is carrying investors away.
Jesus
I
Christ.
mentioned that. Insecurity in Imo State is carrying investors away.
We can just move ahead since I have now gotten my kid down. See, I am going to respectfully disagree with the last two speakers. And the reason for this is that I don't think they have looked at the overall political and social situation of Ndibo before just advising. And I'm not going
Okay,
to
okay,
act
wait.
like they
Okay,
did
okay,
not
hold
do.
on. Before you ramble around, I know you very well. You always support our people not to take positions in anything that.
Please, let's allow him to speak, please. Let's allow him to speak.
No, I want. Oh, no, I'm
No,
just a second.
let him give his submission. Don't condition him. Let him give his submission freely. He's an open man. See, I'm even part of
He
the
said,
people. I opened this space because I wanted to tell people not to join the military also. So, but I had different this thing. Let other people speak so that we can understand also. Okay, you have the mic.
Okay, one name. Anyway, I will continue with my point, and that yes, the only point I agree with them on, and this is just one very prior point, is that to those that are downtrodden, to those without hope, to those without any form of economic escape from the contraption called Nigeria, yes, join. But the truth of the matter is this: an army is only as good as the what it stands for. An army that is basically an enemy of your people cannot serve you in any way. And I am saying this based on the fact that I have traveled to lots of so many parts of the world, and the only place I have not been to is Japan as we speak. So when somebody say, "Oh, join the army so that when the decisions are being made, you can be part of the decision," come on now, bro. This is not a fair assessment of the situation. Do not join the army of a nation that is going down socially, economically, cohesively, a nation that is not at war and has over 70 internationally displaced people's camp. So you might want to look at Europe of 1944 when the war was at its height. The Germans were being battered and they have camps everywhere. That is the situation Nigeria is in. And that situation should have happened when there is war. If there is no war and this situation is happening, then it is clear that there is no political will. There is no political will to solve the situation. And that is where the problem comes in now. If the Nigerian state has a vision of saying, okay, we want to develop as a people, this is what we want to do. This is this is the vision of Nigeria. We could have maybe start to countenance this talk of us being part. The last time, we were part, we knew how it ended. And that is because of the Okamanezi policy of both Zik and Ironsi. What did Zeke do to disadvantage Ndibo? Zeke told Tafawa Balewa, look, I know you have your issues. I know your issue is trust and for the fact that we want to dominate you. I give you my word as a man. We are not intending to dominate you. We want to build a nation with you. Take military power, take executive power. I would be with you in the cabinet. Was that not what Azikiwe did? It was exactly what he did. When Ironsi came into power, he tried to give the same confidence. Look, what has happened has happened. The young man has planned a coup and carried it out. We can build a nation. And for that, I want to win your trust by showing you that this organization belongs to all of us. And then you don't see Tugas and Castina as this one, put his enemies to surround him. And I think for the past 60 years, Nigeria has not changed its tune. You know, it is just like you be with somebody that is always stabbing you, injuring you when you go play football, and the person tells you, "Okay, I have changed," and you play 10 more matches with that person, and the same thing is still happening. Would you go into the 11th one with that person? I think it is time for a change of tactic and a change of overall view of this thing. The army is not what makes a nation great. The military parastatals that they've been organizing since the 60s up until this point is not what makes a nation great. What makes a nation great is what its people are achieving collectively and personally. And that brings me to my point. I just finished a design and course on AI at MIT, and the first thing that came to my mind was that, oh wow, Nigeria does not have an electronic medical record system. Then it came to my mind that if I talk to a Yoruba person or an Hausa person now, okay, let us make a medical record system where it is very efficient, whereby if somebody gets an accident in Onisha and they take him to the hospital, they know already what his medical history is. And they have a blood bank where they could say, okay, let us, this is what grows a society. There is work to be done in growing our society. It is not in the Nigerian army. It is not in the Nigerian immigration or air force. Those organizations are not for us. And to change the narrative, we cannot change the narrative from those organizations. We can only change the narrative from the only power we have left, which is our physical brilliance and you know our physical ruggedity. I would have to leave because my son is trying to give me too much grief. But do not.
Because thank you. While you're listening, let me engage you for a minute, if you don't mind. Would you indulge my
Lakoso, please.
Would you indulge me for a minute?
Just
Carry on.
make it brief.
So I don't know. I'm where he go. So that's now. Let's use our brilliance. Let's use our physical. I don't know what qualifier you added to that, but right now, would it be fair to suggest that one of the most, if not the most brilliant person of our generation was Elon Musk?
I don't recognize such kind of things. Can you go to your point, please?
No. Let's not sound political. Let's just be objective.
No. Let us not sound political.
Right.
I do not recognize him.
I'm sorry. What? I didn't hear you well. I'm sorry. It's not gonna.
You want me to tell you my view of him?
No. I don't want to hear your view. That's your personal view. I mean, I'm objectively speaking. Let's use,
Objectively speaking,
rubric.
Being able to see. Okay, wait. I don't. This is what I don't like. This is the thing. You see.
All right. No. Take care of the baby. Take care of your child.
Do not. Take care of it. Stop. One chill. The Soyuz rocket was made by Russia in the 70s. Elon just went to buy that and paid 15 engineers to upgrade it.
Hold on.
So draw your question and stop looking at physical.
Okay. Yeah. We obviously you have your biases, and I also hold strong to my biases. But you can, you cannot get around it. And that is the fact that without power, whatever else you amass, right, pales. Power is the superstructure. And for a developing or third world country like Nigeria, which Trump have called a shithole, which, everything that happens there, the slaughter of the innocents, turning, quiet villages into killing fields, have proven that we are still, living like savages. Okay? For you to make any change in our country now, what kind of change are you talking about? What other change? What other option do you have? What other viable option do you have? Even at reach wealth, yes, the Igbos might be, the most affluent, in numbers, right? Individually. But they also have a mass, since it has a very good ego in line, Haji ego. Dantata is the richest African. Ije na ala Yoruba Hangwa is the richest black woman, right? Or black African, sorry. So what I'm trying to say here, Abuna, what option do you have to lay claim to the future? What option? Yes, always joke and we are not welcome in the military. Always joke on our weak self. I miss saying here, maybe
I have given my
listen, let me
child to
finish. I
my
get
mother.
it.
I disagree with you 100%. An army.
No,
Listen. I have been listening to you.
You should.
An army is
Listen.
built.
You should hold on. Listen, bro. Can I please just?
Council and okay, just you guys should just make it brief. Let me give you guys 1 minute. I know Gaia is supposed to go next, and
la 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 la.